The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. This week starts the second year of Mystery Theater, and it will be a week to remember. A week devoted to the world's master of mystery, horror, and the bizarre, Edgar Allan Poe. Each night this week, it will be my pleasure and honor to bring you one of Poe's masterpieces, our respectful tribute to the creative genius of a truly great author whose stories will live for all time. Help us celebrate the start of our second year of Mystery Theater by joining us every night this week in our salute to the world's acknowledged master of the macabre. Of all the fears that have plagued mankind, probably the most terrible was the possibility of being buried alive. Oh, don't shrink away. You have nothing to fear, modern medical science being what it is. But not so many years ago, the thought of waking up in one's closed coffin beneath 6 feet of earth, that was a horrible thought indeed. And an ever-present danger, which led, in at least one case, to a remarkably strange experiment.
Let me go. Oh, please let me go. I tell you.
I must release her.
No, Gordon, no. She's alive.
Only my spirit lives. My body has been for days.
Guy, I beg you, let me release her from the spell of mesmerism I cast over her.
Yes. Release me.
No. Victory, no. Oh, no, my darling. If I let Gordon break his hold on you, you will be that. I can't face the horror of that.
Then a worse horror awaits you. Horror. Far worse.
Our mystery drama, The Premature Burial, was adapted from the Edgar Allan Poe classic, especially for the Mystery Theater, by George Lothar, and stars Keir DeLay. It is sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division and Sign-Off, the sinus medicines. I'll be back shortly with Act One. As you know, I'm an inveterate and incurable reader of diaries. The Paston letters, John Evelyn, Pepys, Boswell, young Pastor Kilvert. I've read them all, and many more besides. The daily journals, that is, of lesser-known folk. In so doing, I've happened upon some curious tales, but none, I assure you, that can match in sheer terror the one I bring you now. I happened upon it years ago in a small, out-of-the-way bookshop in London, England. It's the journal of a young doctor, Dr. Gordon Rainey, and it recounts certain events that took place in the year 1810. Now, let me see where to begin. Here. I arrived at the Bull and Bear Inn in Salisbury, the doctor writes, in one of the worst of storms,
And having stabled my horse and seen to its proper care, soon found myself in the rooms my friend Guy Peterson had engaged for himself. In all the years I'd known him, since undergraduate days at Cambridge, I'd never known this closest of my friends to be in such a state of overwrought nerves.
Thank God you come, Gordon. Thank God you're here at last, my friend.
I came as soon as I could after getting your message, but what is it? I've never seen you in such a state of nerves. Thank God, you're actually trembling.
You see, and they buried her last week, but I must see her once again. Gaze on her face.
Now look at me.
What?
Look at me. Look full into my eyes.
What? Gordon, what are you doing?
I'm merely calming you down through the use of mesmerism.
Mesmerism? What in heaven's name is that? And why do you stare at me? As if I...
That's right, old friend, that's right. Calm down. Quiet yourself. Relax. Just loosen up. Let yourself go. That's it. That's it. There now. Feel better?
Why, yes. But how did you do it? What is this? Mesmerism, did you say?
Yes. A means of controlling another person by, well, to put it simplistically, dominating him with one's own will, the force of one's own willpower.
But that's miraculous. And yet you did it. I feel ever so much calmer now because you made me.
Good. And now, Guy, calmly tell me why you sent that urgent message to meet you here in Salisbury.
Victorine.
Well, I know how you must feel, and of course I sympathize deeply, but her death, isn't it a blessing?
A blessing?
And at last free of the hellish life Sir Giles Buckingham led her. Come now, Guy. Is that not something to thank God for?
Well, I suppose so.
Oh, my dear good friend. I know how much you loved her.
Loved her? She was my heart, my soul, my very life. A life that's ended for me when her family forced her to marry Sir Giles.
We've talked of it again and again, but now that she is, perhaps you can try to take up your life again.
I must see her, Gordon.
See her?
That's why I'm here. Why I asked you here. I must see her, Gordon. Gaze upon her lovely face once more.
But she's buried a week ago, you said.
In the family vault on the Buckingham estate. I want to go there tonight. Force entry into the vault, open her coffin, and look at her once more. Just once more. I need you because I fear to go alone.
There is more to fear than that, Guy.
What do you mean?
A body been buried for a week in a damp and virtually airless vault. Guy, you will not see Victorine as she was in life.
I shall see her.
Guy, this is mad. I beg you to...
I must! I don't care what she has become. I must see her once more. Must I do it alone? Will you help me?
If it is your wish, you wish it so strongly, then... Yes, I'll help you.
We must be careful not to be discovered, Gordon. This moonlight makes everything as clear as day.
There'll be no one about unless the estate is guarded at night against poachers.
Let's hope not. Wind kicking up. That should help a little. Cover any sound we make.
Yes.
Here's the gate to the estate.
Is it locked?
So find out. No. Come. There. So much for that.
Now, the location of the vault. Do you know where it is?
Yes. That line of copper beeches on the hill. Do you see them?
Yes.
The vault lies just beyond. Come.
Wait.
That barking dog. If the place is guarded by a dog or even dogs...
Now, don't let your nerves get the best of you. Bad enough to face trouble when it comes, not before.
That dog. It's here on the grounds and closer. Gordon?
Steady, man, steady. Yes, it's on the grounds, all right, and coming this way. Let's step out into the open.
Into the open?
If the dog is coming this way, I want to meet it in full moonlight.
Why, Gordon? Why?
Because my only chance of subduing the beast, if it can be done, will be with my eyes. My voice, too, yes, but the eyes. There, I see it. Coming over the hill against the moonlight.
Good Lord. A wondrous animal, Gordon.
It's a mastiff, and a big one. And he's caught our scent. Come on, step out into the moonlight. Quickly, or all is lost.
Yes. Gordon, I'm scared.
Stand still. Make no move. Leave this to me. All right, boy. Quiet down. Quiet down now. That's a good dog. That's it. We're not here to do you any harm, boy. We're friends. Your friends. Yes, that's right, boy. There's a good dog. A fine dog.
Unbelievable. You stopped him with your eyes. Held him to the one spot just by looking at him, and With your voice, you soothed him. You calmed him. Took all the fight out of him.
Yes. And now, let's get on to the vault.
Here we are. The vault.
Locked?
Afraid so. I'll have to use the pry bar I brought.
Well, be as quiet as you can.
Yes. There. Gate's open. We can go in. Light the lantern, Gordon.
Guy, once more, I urge you not to go through with this.
I must. You know I must.
Now listen to me.
Light the lantern.
I'm lighting the lantern, but listen to me. You remember Victorine as she was, the lovely, innocent, gentle girl who was forced to marry Sir Giles 7 years ago. The torments he put her through, the daily torture of living with such a beast, these alone would have changed her face. But she's as well, and buried here a whole week. Guy, I beg you once again, remember her as she was, not as she must now be.
Shine the lantern about.
Very well.
Oh, dear heaven, there are at least a dozen coffins piled one on another. How can we tell which is Victorian?
Well, hers would be one of the topmost. Yes, and the velvet covering would be the newest. The brass studs still bright. Ah, that one up there, I think.
Let's get it down and see.
Just let me put the lantern over there. So, now then, I'll take the head of the coffin, you the other end. Can you reach it? Just pull then. Now, pull it to the edge. And when we get it to the edge, we can put our hands under it and let it down very gently.
Yes. Gordon.
I heard it.
What was it? It couldn't be. Can't be what I thought. A voice. And it comes from inside the coffin. Oh, dear heaven above. This is Victorine's. Gordon. She's alive. Alive.
Let's put it on the ground. On the ground. Easy now. Easy. The pry bar now. Pry off the lid.
Yes.
Well, hurry, man.
My nerves. I am trembling. No strings.
Give it to me. Now then.
Hurry. Hurry.
Well, I'm working as fast as I can. There.
The lantern. Quickly, the lantern.
Yes.
Shine it into the coffin.
There.
Oh, look. Victorine alive. Alive.
Guy, it's you. Oh, God, thank you. Horrors I've been through.
All right, gently now, my dear, gently.
Gordon.
Yes, my dear. Come on, Guy, lend a hand. Help me lift her out.
Oh, I can't believe
Oh, buried alive. Oh, my dearest, it must have been horrible for you.
I don't want to think about it. I can't tell you. To wake up, at first not knowing where you are, and everything black, pitch black, suffocating, scarce enough air to breathe.
Best not to think about it.
And then you move, and you feel the sides of the coffin. Narrow, so narrow. And you reach up and you touch the lid, but the lid's only an inch or two from your face. And then, suddenly, you know. Oh, heaven help me, you know. You scream with the terror of it. You scream and scream and scream.
Stop it at once.
Yes, Gordon.
You're alive, and that's all that matters.
Yes.
And thanks to what I called a mad impulse, you're safe.
Oh, yes. Oh, my darling, my dearest.
Sweetheart.
Now, listen
Oh,
to me,
God.
you two. Listen, we face a problem.
What problem?
Well, how are you going to take her back to Sir Giles? How explain all this? Sir Giles will have us arrested for breaking and entering.
She's not going back to Sir Giles. She's coming with me, away from this hellish place.
Oh, my darling.
You can't do that. She is his wife.
I'll die before I let Sir Giles get his hand on that.
A promise you may very well keep, my dear sir.
What?
It's Charles.
How did you...
The barking of my dog aroused me. I, in turn, roused my keepers, who are out and about scouring the woods. As it happens, I came this way, saw the light of your lantern flickering in the vault, and prepared to surprise what I thought to be grave robbers. Well, as it happens, I am the one surprised. Indeed, I'm shocked. I scarcely expected to find Victorine alive.
Yes, she's alive. And from here on, Sir Giles will live, I pray, a far happier life with me than ever she did with you. Move aside, sir.
I think not. If you're going anywhere, my friend, you and your accomplice, it's to jail. As for my wife, since she is returned to life, she will also return to me.
Oh, no!
You don't move, sir, I warn you. But if you do, it will give me extreme pleasure to blow your head off with this gun. Extreme pleasure.
I confess that at this point in Dr. Gordon Rainey's journal, I thought the tale over and done with. I was wrong, for really, it was only the beginning. I'll return shortly with Act 2. Well, as I said, I thought that Dr. Gordon Rainey's story had come to an end. He had gone with his friend, Guy Peterson, to the vault where the woman he loved lay in her coffin, only to find her alive. And then, as he planned to run away with her to save her from further torments at the hands of her husband, he was stopped by the appearance of that same husband, gun in hand, promising to have him and Dr. Rainey jailed.
Giles, I entreat you. Let them go. They've done no harm. On the contrary, if it hadn't been for Guy and Dr. Rainey, I'd even now be lying in my coffin, alive.
Would that you were. You woman, would that you were. Your unexpected return from the grave will lose me a fortune.
But how can my being alive cost you anything?
Lady Hastings is a widow. Lady Hastings has an income of $30,000 a year. I proposed marriage to her on Tuesday, and she accepted me.
You proposed marriage to another woman 3 days after your wife died?
Why not? I'm alive, very much alive, and to live one needs money. Why the look, Dr. Rainey?
You have more sense, it seems, than sensitivity, Sir Giles.
Insulting me will only worsen matters for you, Doctor, if that's possible. You can't be as unaware as you would like to seem that your career is ruined. A doctor, a physician, arrested for breaking and entering a mortuary, a sacred repository of the...
Sir Giles, you mustn't do this to Dr. Rainey. He helped me because he's my friend, a good and true friend. He was against it from the very start and would never have agreed to assist me had it not been for his deep and abiding sense of loyalty.
Oh, do stop, do, or you shall have me in tears.
Tears from a stone. A miracle.
So have I.
Oh.
Very well, then. Stone that will crush you, dear wife. Crush you until the death you've escaped will seem a paradise to you.
Put down that gun and
But I've no intention of putting down the gun. Certainly not until the bailiff arrives and takes you into custody, to jail, where I shall see to it you rot, the two of you.
What do you mean, rot?
I mean, quite simply, that once you're put in jail, you will never leave it. You will rot there, Doctor.
You make no sense, Sir Giles. The penalty for breaking and entering...
Penalties? Who speaks of penalty?
I do. There are laws in this nation.
But only one law here, me. I am the law in the village of Buckingham. I am Buckingham.
Oh, and he is.
No, Sir Giles. You will not imprison this man for the rest of his life, nor will you imprison me.
Oh? And may I ask why not?
Because I say so. Because I tell you so. No, don't look away. Look at me. Look into my eyes. Have the courage to look into them and tell me then. Will you imprison us?
Mesmerism.
Why, such is my intention, yes?
Is your intention, Sir Giles? Or was?
Well, it certainly was. I mean to say, the way you put it, most eloquently.
Good Lord. It's working. He's doing it again.
Doing what?
And you, being a man of sensitivity, my eloquence, the validity of what I say, has touched you. Is that not so? It is so, isn't it?
Yes. Seen in a different light, so to speak, yes, it would serve no purpose to put you in jail. None really.
And so you let us go? You will let us go?
Yes, go. Get out of my sight, the two of you, and never come back.
Let us leave, Guy. Victorine, under the law, there's nothing we can do. She is his wife.
I can't leave her.
You must. The bailiff will be here any moment, and I can't dominate Sir Giles' will with mine much longer.
Victorine.
Go, my darling.
What?
To leave you with him.
No, whatever happens to me will be harder to bear if you are in prison. Go, I entreat you. Go.
Second thought.
He's coming out of it. Guy, my friend, I've done all I can for you, and I'll not see my career ruined because you...
Because you're right. Goodbye, my darling, my dearest.
Goodbye.
Mesmerize me, Gordon. Do something. Do anything to relieve me of this torment.
You must control yourself.
I think of her, dream of her. She is never out of my thought, and always I am stricken with the thought that my very imaginings are as nothing to what he is really doing to her. The beatings, the starving of her, her very loneliness, the vile subjection to his passions. Oh, merciful heaven, I shall go out of my mind.
Yes, Guy, you shall. Unless you pull yourself together. Now, if you don't stop thinking of her, if you don't stop letting your fancy invent miseries she is very likely not suffering, you will go insane. You will.
Someone at the door. Who?
Were you expecting someone?
No one. Whom would I want to see?
I'll answer. Victorine!
Save me, Gordon, save me.
Good heavens. Come in, my dear. Guy, look, it's Victorine.
Victorine? Oh. It is. My dearest.
I could bear it no more. Oh, yes. Oh, hold me in your arms. Hold me.
Oh, Victorine.
He may kill me, but I'll never go back. Never. He never loved me. And now he hates me because I keep him from marrying Lady Hastings and her fortune and makes me pay. Oh, save me from him. Never let him take me back.
Gordon, she's fainting.
Here, Victorine, some brandy. Lie down on the couch.
There, my love. Lie back. Relax.
Let me take over, Guy. Go and bar the door, and bar it solidly.
Bar
He must know she has fled, and to where she has fled, and he cannot risk her out of his sight because...
Because what? But what? Say it!
No. Let me say it for him. Because once again I am near death.
No.
Yes. Unless I can find rest. Unless I can feel myself safe from him. I shall die.
You will not.
I want to die.
Now stop talking, man, for once. Now bar that door.
Yes.
Too late.
No, I threw the bolt.
Not enough.
Open up, I say, or I'll have the door broken down.
Gordon, what shall I do?
Unless you want a smashed door with nothing gained. Open it.
Open, you hear? Open!
He'll take her back to Buckingham.
Yes, he will. She's his wife. There's nothing you can do.
Now, you all. At it again, are you? Stealing my wife? Taking what belongs to me? You men, take her.
No.
Over my body.
Take her.
No.
Enough. Stand back or I'll brain you with this candlestick. All right, then. You'll be next, my friend. If you don't...
Very well. Move back. You're quite a hand with a candlestick, Dr. Rainey.
Yes.
You've laid my man out. I trust you know what this means for you.
Perhaps you should consider what it means for you, Sir Giles.
Me, sir?
Yes, you're not in Buckingham now. You're in London.
Seeking a wife who's run from her husband to a lover.
No, sir. A woman who has come to her doctor.
What?
What do you say? Your wife is dangerously ill. You have only to use your eyes to see that. I, being her friend, I am sure she sought me at my residence, and, not finding me there, came here.
Adroit? Most adroit, Dr. Rainey. May I ask, then, if you've prescribed for her illness?
Not as yet, Sir Giles.
But you will.
Yes.
Not good enough, Dr. Rainey. As her husband, or lawful husband, I intend to take her back with me to Buckingham. Victorine, my darling, come with me.
No.
Oh, really? Now you've no choice.
No.
Take your hands off her.
No.
Guy, you have no recourse. In the eyes of the law, she is his wife. He wants her, and you cannot keep her from him.
Sensibly said, Doctor. Here, dear wife, good wife, faithful and loyal wife, take my hand and let me help you from off that couch. Take my hand.
Vile. You are vile. Filthy. Foul. I shall never touch you again. I'd rather burn off my hands than touch you, you evil man. I'll die rather than go back with you. Die.
You come.
No. No. No.
Gordon. She's...
Oh, no.
Are you sure, Doctor? She was pronounced once before, you know.
There is no pulse. I can detect no vital signs. To all intents and purposes, she is...
You modern-day doctors, always escaping in words and phrases, to all intents and purposes, which is to say, you're not sure.
Who is sure of anything, Sir Giles? However, considering what has gone before, we will keep her here under observation for a few days.
You'll do nothing of the sort. You men, pick her up and bear her to my carriage.
No! Wait, what are you doing?
Possessing myself of my property, sir. Whether it be alive or...
But you can't do this. You
Take
can't
her
do...
to my carriage.
Gordon!
There is nothing either of us can do. And Guy, she is. I'm virtually sure of that.
But if she is not...
Don't trouble yourself. Your own friend, the man you trust, Dr. Gordon Rainey, has pronounced her. All I intend to do is see that she is properly buried. This time, to stay properly buried.
Is she? You must understand, in those days, more than half a century ago, one was never sure. I'll return shortly for Act 3. Think for a moment how you would feel if you thought someone you loved might conceivably have been buried alive. And you will understand the feelings of young Guy Peterson. Think again how you would feel if you were a close friend of Guy's, a physician who risks his career every time he consents to help Guy spirit his beloved from her tomb. And you will then understand why Dr. Gordon Rainey wrote in his journal,
I feel if Guy is not mad, he is close to it. He has never been a robust man, but on the contrary, something of a neurotic. So it was that I refused, and again refused when he begged.
Help me. I beg you, Gordon, help me.
That is what I am trying to do, by refusing what you ask. We were caught in the act of entering the Buckingham vault the first time. We would surely be caught a second. There can be no doubt that Sir Giles is having the place guarded.
If there's a guard, we'll get past him somehow, or knock him unconscious, or yes, you could mesmerize him as you did that dog and Sir Giles.
Guy, my dear, good friend, listen to me. First, Victorine is...
How can you say that? She suffers, she must suffer from some sort of malady that makes her only appear to be. There are such maladies.
Yes, everything you say is true, but...
You admit she could yet be alive. Buried alive in that tomb even now.
Stop that. Stop it. The second thing I was going to point out is that mesmerism doesn't always work. Some people, the kind of peasant type who'd likely be guarding the vault, cannot be brought under the hypnotic influence.
Yes, but...
And a third thing is this. I am a doctor. If I get caught again, Sir Giles could end my career, and all I have tried to be, all the good I can accomplish in this world, would be set at naught. I'm sorry, Guy. I cannot risk it again.
Then I must do it alone.
You will not do it alone.
You cannot stop me. No one, nothing can stop me from rescuing Victorine from that vault.
Guy, you are mad. You are thinking irrationally, acting senselessly.
That's my concern, and certainly no longer yours.
Oh, Guy.
Leave me, Gordon. I must prepare for the journey to Salisbury. Well, leave, I said.
No. I'll go with you.
You've changed your mind?
I have not. But this is a mad business, and I'm a fool to help you, but I am also your friend.
Gordon?
Yes.
The vault is guarded.
Yes. I see the man. A big brute he is.
Do you think you can mesmerize him? Bring him under, what did you call it?
Hypnotic influence? I doubt it. He's the type I told you about. All muscle and little brain. It's a dark night to make things worse. You wouldn't be able to see my eyes clearly.
Do you dare try?
Well, I have no choice. But keep this in mind, Guy.
Yes?
If I fail, as I most certainly shall, run for it. Do you understand? Don't try to fight him. Run.
Yes, whatever you say.
All right, now then. Let's step out of these bushes and walk toward him. Say and do nothing. Leave things to me. Come.
Who's there?
Oh, don't shoot, friend.
Then stand where you be. Let me have a look at you.
Of course. We mean no harm, friend. We are simply two gentlemen who got lost in these woods, and so...
How come you're lost? This here is Buckingham Manor, and it's surrounded, all of it, with an iron fence.
Yes.
How come you got in?
Well, we really don't know. It's a dark night, and our eyes couldn't see much.
A likely story.
You must believe me. My sight is very poor as it is. Very poor. Look for yourself. Look into my eyes and see for yourself.
Yeah, now, what is this? Look into your eyes? It's up to the manor house with you two. Well, your answer to Sir Giles for trespassing on his...
Guy, that takes care of him.
You stabbed him.
Couldn't control him.
I said to run if I couldn't, but... Oh, Guy, I think you've killed him.
Quickly, into the vault.
Wait. What's happened to you? Don't you realize that you've just murdered a man and that... Oh, you've gone mad. You have gone mad.
I am as sane as you. But mad or sane, I must get Victorine out of that vault. Now, come.
All right, but... Heaven help me, what have I got myself into now?
The pry bar book. Where is it?
Where? Well, you had it.
Oh, yes. I must hurry. Hurry, she's alive in there. Her coffin alive. I must... There. Come along, Gordon. Come along.
All right.
There. There's a coffin.
Yes.
Look fast. Get the lid off.
Insane. He's gone insane.
Victorine, can you hear me? Are you alive, my dearest? Perhaps fainted. Huh, Gordon? That's possible, isn't it? Alive, but in a faint?
Oh, Guy, my poor dear friend.
There. The lid's off, and she...
As I told you.
We can't be sure. You know we can't be sure.
Guy, in the name of reason...
Help me. Help me get her out of the coffin.
To what purpose?
We'll take her back with us to London and...
Take her back where?
To my place.
The first place Sir Giles will come to.
Then to yours.
Mine? Do you realize what you're asking of me?
If you're the friend you claim to be...
But what you ask is impossible. You've already made me your unwitting accomplice to murder, and now... Guy, you are out of your mind.
And you, Gordon, are no friend.
Guy, I beg you, leave her where she is. Leave her at peace.
She is not, and I am taking her back to London.
If whoever may read these pages of my journal thinks me a fool, I could not agree more. But Guy was my closest friend, and what's more, was clearly deranged by the love he bore Victorine, and his horror of letting her be buried alive. So we took her body to my rooms in London. 3 days she lay on the couch in my sitting room, Guy never leaving her side night or day. But on the 3rd day I knew something must be done to end this madness of his.
Look at her. There's no sign, not one, of decomposition.
Yes, because it is the middle of winter and we've kept the windows open and no fire in the fireplace. The sitting room of mine is a virtual ice house.
No, I know.
Now listen to me. What you persist in doing is not only lunacy, it is sacrilege that deserves decent burial. If you love Victorine, as you say you do, let us bury her, Guy. Bury her tonight.
Where?
Then you will.
Yes. Where can we take her?
Well, I've thought of that and prepared for it. A grave awaits her body in St. Pancras Cemetery. All is arranged. We can take her now under cover of night.
Then let us do it.
Good, good. Now, I've kept my carriage waiting below. Do you want to carry her, or shall I?
Let me. It will be the last time I hold it in my arms.
All right. Pick her up, Guy.
Yes. Yes. Gordon?
Oh.
Gordon, what was that?
It's nothing. Come on, let's go downstairs.
But she gave a sigh when I picked her up.
Guy.
You heard? Gordon, you heard?
Good Lord, I did. Here, move aside.
She's alive. I knew it. Alive.
Quiet, man. In heaven's name, be quiet. Victorine. Victorine, do you hear me?
Yeah.
I have taken your hand in mine. Do you feel it?
No.
Can you open your eyes? If you can, open them.
She has. Gordon, she's gazing at me.
Victorine, do you see Guy?
Yes. Farewell, my darling. Farewell.
Farewell?
I am near death.
No.
Only a spark of life remains.
No.
Oh.
No, she must not die. Gordon, stop her.
What are you saying?
Mesmerism. The hypnotic influence. Use it.
Are you mad? Use it? How?
Command her not to die. Command her to live.
Command her to live? Command what to live when there was scarce a breath of life in her? Her mind, her spirit, what? But I did it. May God, in his infinite mercy, forgive me. I did it. Using the powers of mesmerism, I held her eyes with mine and commanded her, forced her to live. Even though over and over she cried out.
Ian, let me go.
But I did not let her go, could not let her go, because, yes, I confess it, because the experiment fascinated me. I, Dr. Gordon Rainey, committed for over 5 long weeks, committed the sin, the crime, the sacrilege of holding the spirit within the body to this earth, even though it pleaded, entreated, begged.
Release me. Oh, release me.
In a short time, yes. But tell me first, what are you? Spirit? Soul? Mind? What?
I am...
What's that? Someone at the door. I'll answer. You!
Found you at last, eh, you damn grave robber?
Sir Giles.
Yes, and you, Dr. Rainey, who so help me, will no longer be called doctor when I'm through with you.
No, Giles, no.
Oh, what's this? She lives?
No, Sir Giles.
But she speaks. I heard her speak. Here, let me see for myself.
Stay away from her. Don't you touch her.
Get out of my way, you.
Don't touch her, I said. Don't touch her. Oh.
You shot him. You killed Guy.
Before he stabbed me to death, as he stabbed my servant. Self-defense, sir. And now enough of this. I came for my wife's body, but it appears I shall be taking your wife back to Buckingham Manor with me. Rouse her. Rouse her at once.
I cannot, Sir Giles. She has been for more than 6 weeks.
Well, I heard her speak.
Yes. But it was her soul, her spirit, I don't know what, but not her body. Her body is...
Yes. I beg you, don't hold me any longer. Guy is here. Let me go to him. I say to you that I am... Let me go.
She comes with me.
No. She goes where she should have gone long since now, had it not been for me. Victorine, I release you. Go. And in the sanctity of death, join the lover you never had in life.
What's happening? Her body. Her body, it's disintegrating. Before my eyes. Rotting. Moldering. Horrible! Horrible!
Horrible indeed it was. For using Edgar Allan Poe's own words, upon the couch there now lay not the body of Victorine, but a nearly liquid mass of loathsome, detestable putrescence. Mr. Poe's words, mind. When he set out to horrify you, he horrified you. I'll be back shortly. The Premature Burial is only one of a number of stories by the master Edgar Allan Poe I've had the pleasure of bringing you. We now owe, and generations to come will owe, so much to his imagination, his vibrant fancy, that it might be nice to think of him now and then, let his name pass through your thoughts as it does through mine, and to wish him well, wherever he may be. Our cast included Keir Delay, Paul Hecht, Guy Sorel, and Marion Seldes. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. And now, a preview of our next tale.
What is her condition? Well, it's not fatal, thank God. Not even very serious. Badly bruised, cut over her right eye, but she's going to be all right. The monster failed to make good his threat to kill her.
We may indeed thank God for that.
Yes. Well, at least we know more than we did before, Monsieur Dupin. We know that the murderer is a big man, a huge man of unbelievable strength, and that he has black hair.
We know a great deal more than that, Pierre.
We do?
Well, I do, and so do you. Only, as I've said before, you don't know you know.
Oh, Monsieur. Monsieur, I do not have your brilliant brain. Well, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you can solve this awful mystery, that you can save Yvette. The murderer failed this time, but he'll try again.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Sign-Off, the Sinus Medicines, and Buick Motor Division. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Lord Byron, if I recall correctly, first said, "Sweet is revenge. But revenge is mine, saith the Lord, according to the Bible." The truth would seem to be that sweet indeed is revenge, while the moment lasts. But the victim of revenge will himself be avenged, one way or another, by a power not of this world, surely the power of God. In any case, had Arno Montresor not revenged himself on Fortunato Bellini and enjoyed to the full that moment of sweetness, he would never have experienced the shock and terror that surged through him when Inspector Murdaro said,
"Arno, I arrest you for the murder of Fortunato Bellini."
Me? You arrest me? For murder?
Playing the innocent will do you no good, Arno. I've got you to rights. I have found the body.
Impossible. You couldn't. I mean, say you...
You just slipped. How would you know it was impossible if you didn't know where the body was? But that was your second slip, Arno. A slip you wouldn't have made if you hadn't made the first.
The first?
Yes. You committed the perfect crime, my friend. Perfect, except for one single, simple little mistake.
What mistake? What mistake?
Our mystery drama, The Cask of Amontillado, was especially adapted from the Edgar Allan Poe classic for the Mystery Theater by George Lothar and stars Richard Kiley. It is sponsored in part by imported Vigna Rosé wine and Buick Motor Division. I'll be back shortly with Act One. We were talking about revenge, I believe. Yes, revenge. An emotion, a passion that came to burn fiercely in the breast of a certain wine grower named Arno Montresor. A consuming fire he at last managed to quench with, oddly enough, a cask, a barrel of Amontillado sherry. It all began, this strange and terrifying tale, at the famous Montresor vineyards in Tuscany, Italy. There, on a certain day, in the office of Arno Montresor, Fortunato Bellini sealed his doom.
But I must have the 1923 vintage, Arno. No other Amontillado will do. You must manage to find more for me.
I would if I could perform miracles, but I can't. I've been in touch with every wine grower, every merchant in Spain. I've scoured all of Mantilla, where Amontillado is made. I can't find even a bottle of the 23 vintage, and you ask for barrels, casks.
Well, a bottle is only a drop to me, you know that. You wouldn't be trying to raise the price on me.
What?
Considering the money you owe me, the loans I've made you, I wouldn't be surprised if you...
Are you out of your mind, Fortunato? How could I possibly make enough money to pay you back by raising the price of the Amontillado you drink? You don't drink that much.
Which is why I have my suspicions about you, Arno.
What are you...
The catacombs beneath your vineyard. You took me down to the 3rd level not so long ago and showed me. Why, there must have been at least a half-dozen casks of Amontillado.
More than a year ago. There weren't a half-dozen, there were only 4. And you've drunk them all. If there is one bottle, one drop of 1923 Amontillado left in Spain, in the world, I can't find it for you. Now, this discussion is at an end.
Not altogether. I have another matter to take up with you. The money you owe me.
Well, what about it? I've been paying the interest regularly.
I need the principal. Business has been bad, and I'm in need of money. I'm afraid, Arno, I must ask you to repay me.
Repay? Fortunato, I don't think you realize what you're asking. I'm in no position at this time to... Come in. Oh, Margarita, my dearest.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, darling. And you, Signor Bellini.
You do disturb me, Signora Montresor. Always. But not in the way you mean.
Well, what is it, Margarita?
Tonio is waiting to see you. It's urgent, he says.
What's the trouble?
Something about the dampness in the 3rd level of the catacombs. He says it's getting worse and changing the temperature.
Yes, the dampness is increasing down there. I'll talk to him in a few minutes.
Very well, darling. Good to see you, Signor Bellini.
It's more than good to see you, Signora. It is a feast to my eyes.
I can't help noticing. Good day.
She seemed offended with me, your wife.
You never took your eyes off her.
Oh, can you blame me? So young, so...
About the money I owe you, Fortunato.
1 week, Arno.
1 week?
You know our agreement. The loan's payable on demand, or...
you can sell me out, but there was never any thought of that.
There is now, I'm afraid.
But you wouldn't. You can't.
I must. I need the money.
You've got to give me more time. I'll do anything you ask. Anything within reason.
Within reason, you say, eh?
Yes. What is it?
Well, you know how I feel about your lovely wife. Just looking at her makes me feel young again.
What are you saying?
The thought has crossed my mind more than once, Arno, that what a pleasure it would be if she would come to dinner with me one night.
Yes, we'd be delighted to.
And not we, not you, her, alone.
If you mean what I think you mean, get out.
Very well. No.
Get out, I said.
I'm going. But remember, you have 1 week from today.
All the filthy obscene... Yes, come in.
I just saw Signor Bellini leave. If you can see Tonio now... Arno, what is it?
Oh, nothing.
Something's happened to upset you. I can see it in your face. What is it?
Oh, Bellini, he's given me a week to repay the money I owe him, or he'll sell me out.
Oh, no.
But that's not all. What got me angered was...
Yes?
He said he'd be willing to give me an extension if you'd have dinner with him.
What you mean is if I...
Yes.
Of all the thought of it. That fat, repulsive... But, Arno, darling, what are you going to do? Can he take the vineyard if you don't pay him in a week?
The vineyard, the wine stocks in the catacombs below, the house, everything.
But we'll be ruined.
Yes, ruined.
Oh, my dearest, there must be something we can do. Something.
If you think of something, Margarita, let me know.
And when the maid said you were here to see me, I didn't believe it possible. What a pleasure, Signora Montresor. What a very real pleasure to discover I was wrong.
Why would you think my paying you a visit, Signor Bellini, an impossibility?
To be altogether honest with you, Signora Margarita, if I may say.
Of course you may, Fortunato.
I'd always thought you didn't exactly care too much for me.
To be altogether honest with you, I don't.
Then why are you here?
If you force Arno to repay what he owes you in 1 week, he'll be ruined.
Yes?
You offered to give him an extension of time if I would have dinner with you.
Yes?
I've thought about it. Suppose I came to lunch, say. Arno and I don't see much of each other during the day, and I'm often out shopping, so there'd be no need to explain where I'd been.
Wonderful.
If you cancel Arno's debt altogether.
Cancel it?
Totally.
Oh, my dear, you are as clever as you are desirable. But I'm afraid you take me for a fool.
Why?
Forgive the debt altogether and enjoy your company only once? When by giving extensions of time, I can enjoy it many times over. What do you take me for?
An extension wouldn't help very much.
But it would help when he needs help. It's either that, Margarita, or ruin for you as well as him. Lunch, then. Say tomorrow at 1?
Tomorrow at 1.
I said, where have you been all afternoon?
Arno, dearest, I told you. Shopping.
What did you buy?
Nothing. I couldn't find what I wanted. A bag, a new bag to go with those shoes I bought last week, and I thought I might find a hat to go with...
You were with Bellini. Isabella told me.
Isabella.
His daughter. You know his daughter. The one he sent to visit her aunt for the afternoon. Only the aunt wasn't at home, and she came back to find you with her father. In her father's bed.
I did it for you.
Did what for me? Shame me.
No one need ever know.
I know. Me, I know. I want to die. I have died.
Arno, darling.
Darling.
Listen to me, please listen. I love you. Only you.
I don't want to hear.
Please, oh, please. Since the day of our marriage, I have watched you work yourself to the bone to keep the Montresor vineyards going, to hold on to the heritage, your heritage of more than a century. I have so admired you for what you do, so loved you for the man, the husband you are. I couldn't bear to see you ruined, and so I helped you in the only way I knew, the only way I could. Bellini is going to extend the loans another...
The devil with the loans! And Bellini and his extensions. You stand there and tell me you couldn't bear to see me ruined, and in the same breath admit you ruined me.
No.
Ruin me as a man. Ruin me as a respected member of the community. You think everyone will know about this? With Isabella and her tongue? I can hear them laughing behind my back. All of them. Laughing.
Arno, I beg you don't talk this way. Isabella won't talk. No one will ever...
I will! And I can never look at you again without knowing what you did. I could never hold you in my arms. Never sleep with you again without knowing. Adulterous!
Arno!
I could kill you for what you've done to me. Kill you!
Your hand. My throat. Arno!
Kill! Kill! Margarita. Is dead. Yes. And you should be for what you've done. Oh, how gentle, sweet, how beautiful and desirable. What am I to do? What am I to do? Yes. Yes, the body must be hidden. Hidden. But how? How can I... Yes. That's it. The catacombs. Alive. She's alive.
My throat.
Just work fast. Fast.
Arno, what? I can see only your head and shoulders. Where am I?
Does it matter where you are?
What are you doing?
Walling you up.
Walling me?
You know the catacombs as well as I do. The outer walls have caved in places. There are openings that can be walled up. No one the wiser to what lies behind them.
Oh, no. Arno, no.
Another stone. 2 more. Only 2 more.
I love you. I did what I did because I love you.
And I love you.
Then why are you doing this? Pull the stones away. Tear them down.
No, I cannot. I will not. You are mine. But you became his. You loved me. And you loved him.
No!
Gave yourself to him.
For your sake.
You didn't want him.
How can you say?
Because it could be true. How do I know it isn't? How will I ever know?
Oh, my God.
I can't believe that. Well, I just said I don't believe. But my mind is stained with the thought. My heart is shattered by it. You must die. Darling, you must.
If killing me, revenging yourself on me,
will help you. Arno, put in the last stone. There is nothing left for me now. Nothing of me but my love for you. Stone. Put it in place. Yes. I love you. I love you. I love you. I will always love you.
His heart, his soul smashed to bits, Arno Montresor sends his wife to her death, walling her up on the first and uppermost level of the catacombs. Oscar Wilde, our old friend, said, "Each man kills the thing he loves." All my life, I've never been able to understand what he meant by that. Perhaps I do now. Perhaps you do too. I'll return shortly for Act 2. Murder will out, it has been said. And yet it's hard to see how the murder of Margarita Montresor by her husband Arno will ever be discovered. For he has carefully walled her up on the top level of the catacombs beneath his vineyard. It's possible, indeed altogether likely, that had he been content with that, he would never have been found out. But a consuming passion to revenge himself on Fortunato Bellini has taken possession of him now. A passion that is to drive him into making one single, simple little mistake.
Come in, Isabella. Come in. What an unexpected pleasure. Sit down. Have a glass of wine? This Lacrima Christi is particularly good.
Thank you.
Well, now, why have you come to see me?
I'm not sure, but guilt, I suppose. Shame.
What do you mean?
The story's all over town. That you and Margarita have split up. That she's left you. Is it true?
Not entirely. I've let people believe that because I don't care what they think, but you, I can tell the truth. I threw her out.
Yes. And you can tell me the truth because I'm responsible. I'm the one who came running to tell you about her being with my father.
Is that why you feel guilty? Ashamed?
If I had minded my own business, none of this would have happened. You and Margarita would still be happily together.
A false happiness built on unfaithfulness.
Perhaps. But I had no right to do what I did. It was just that I was so surprised, so shocked at finding her with my father together. I lost my head. I must apologize, beg forgiveness.
I don't know where Margarita is, and I don't want to know. Have you told your father about finding him and Margarita together?
No, I wouldn't dare. I think he would kill me, and you must never tell him either.
Don't worry. I don't intend to. Oh, another glass?
Thank you, no. I'll go now.
Well, let me see you to the door. Carnival week begins tonight. I suppose you're looking forward to it.
You know better than that, Signor Montresor.
I know.
Everyone knows that I never go to the carnival.
Oh, why not?
Come on now. You know. I can never find anyone to take me, that's why. There isn't a boy in town who'd want to be seen with anyone as plain and unattractive as me.
Plain? Unattractive?
Oh.
Well, you shock me. I've always thought of you as, well, anything but unattractive.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, I mean it. Well, don't misunderstand me. I mean, well, I'm almost old enough to be your father, and I wouldn't want you to think... Well, what I'm saying is, if you'd be willing to go to the carnival tonight with me...
You?
Yes, well, why not? I'm alone, you're alone. We could at least be alone together. Yes, and you'd have the fun of going to the carnival at last.
Oh, I don't know.
I do. I'll call for you at 10. I won't take no for an answer.
Oh, Signor Montres.
And another thing. Call me Arno. See you at 10?
Yes.
I'll be looking forward to it.
Oh, and so will I. So will I. Arno.
Inspector Madero? The police?
Yes, senor.
What do you want with me?
A matter of routine, senor, nothing more. It's about your wife.
Yes? What about her?
It's come to our attention at headquarters that your wife is no longer living with you.
Correct.
Would you mind telling me why?
Oh, we've separated.
For what reason? If you'd rather not tell...
No, I'm happy to tell. We simply couldn't get along anymore. We were incompatible. Constant quarreling. It became too much, so we decided to split up.
And she went elsewhere?
Yes.
Where?
I don't know.
You don't?
No, I don't. To tell you the truth, I don't care.
You have no idea where she might have gone? Back to her parents, perhaps? Relatives?
Well, her parents, it is for relatives. Why are you asking all these questions?
There is some talk of murder.
Murder? Oh, no, you mean she's met with foul play, been murdered?
No. The talk about town is that... You know how gossip spreads, senor. And of course, there's nothing to this. Still and all, the police must check it out. The talk is that you murdered her.
I?
It is silly, of course.
That's ridiculous. Utterly and completely ridiculous. Well, now, if you'll excuse me, Inspector, I have much to do.
The relatives...
The what?
Your wife, you said she has relatives.
Oh, yes. A sister in Rome and another in Florence.
I'd appreciate it if you'd give me their names and addresses.
Well, certainly. Only... Well, if you ask me, Inspector Madero, the police are making a mountain out of a molehill.
A matter of routine, senor. Routine. Nothing more.
Enjoying yourself, Isabella?
Oh, Arno, I am. You have no idea. Thank you for bringing me. It's so wonderful. There must be thousands and thousands of lights, all kinds of colors, and the music and the people in costume and fireworks. Arno, the fireworks have started. Let's get closer.
Well, if we can, but pushing through this crowd is going to be... Hey, what? Come on, Chester, stop blocking my way.
Why, Arno, it's me, Fortunato.
Father, I didn't know you were dressing up as a court jester.
Yes. How are you, Arno?
Well enough, Fortunato, and you?
Well, fine, except, I've been a little troubled, a little puzzled not hearing from you, especially after I gave you a 3-month extension on the loan.
Well, I've been very busy, Fortunato. Very busy. Harvest time, you know. I just haven't had a moment to myself.
Yes, but still and all. Well, never mind. This is a night for fun and pleasure, which reminds me, have you managed to find some 23 Amontillado for me?
Well, the truth is, Fortunato, that... Now, I don't want to get your hopes raised, but...
You have found some.
No, not yet, but I may. Now, I say I may have located a barrel of it in Mantilla.
Whole cask? Oh, if that is only true.
My agent is checking. I'll let you know.
As soon as you do, don't waste a minute. Get it over from Spain as fast as you can.
I'll do my best.
Well, see you later.
Look! Oh, Arno, look! The skyrocket all exploding at the same time.
It's in some side, isn't it?
It certainly is, Senor Montresor.
Oh, Inspector Madero.
Well met, senor. And isn't this Signorina Bellini with you?
Yes, Isabella, this is Inspector Madero of the police.
How do you do?
Enjoying the carnival, I hope?
Oh, yes.
Oh, Arno, by the way, she didn't go to her relatives.
What?
Your wife. She didn't go to her sister in Rome or Florence. We checked. They haven't seen her.
Oh, well, she must have gone elsewhere then.
Of course. The question is, where? You have no idea, as you said, senor.
No.
Yes. Well, I'll just have to keep looking till I find her.
Arno, take me home now. I shouldn't have come to your house in the first place.
Oh, just another glass of wine, Isabella.
No. I can't seem to get up from the chair. What's happened to me?
I've drugged you, that's what's happened.
Drugged me?
To make killing you, murdering you, easier.
Murder?
You stupid, ugly little fool. You really believed me when I said I found you not unattractive? That I'd be delighted to escort you to the carnival?
What? Arno, what are you saying?
I'm saying that I'm going to do the same with you that I did with Margarita. Wall you up in the catacombs below.
You killed her? Then walled her up?
Oh, no. Oh, she was alive when I did it. At least she was when I put the last stone in place. But she didn't last long after that, I'm sure. It couldn't have been more than an hour or so before she suffocated to death.
Suffocate? I've got to get out of here. I can't move.
No, you can't, so you might as well stop trying. You haven't a chance, Isabella. Not a chance.
Why are you doing this to me?
Revenge. Revenge for what your father did to me. Revenge for what Margarita did to me. Revenge for what you did to me.
I?
You're right, you see. If you hadn't come running to me, falling over yourself to tell me what you'd seen, I'd never have known Margarita. My beloved Margarita. I'd never have known she'd been unfaithful. But you had to tell me. You and your wagging, gossiping tongue.
I didn't think.
I'll pick you up in my arms.
No.
And carry you down to the catacombs. To the second level below.
No.
And wall you up as I walled up Margarita.
Please.
Think what it would be like. As slowly one stone after another goes into place. A growing coffin lid for a stone coffin. Think of the agony that lies ahead when the last stone is placed and mortared in tight. Tight. And the air is cut off. And slowly, in agony and horror, you suffocate. Smother to death. Tell me now, little gossip. What have you to say to that? Nothing? I'm holding you in my arms, looking into your eyes. Eyes filled with fright, with terror. You have nothing to say. Oh, you must have something. Surely there's some word you can speak, some sound you can make. That's it again.
Consumed by revenge, Arno Montresor bears the numbed body of Isabella away to the catacombs below, as the terror in her heart pours from her throat. And if I'm not mistaken, Fortunato Bellini will be next in line for Arno's vengeance. We'll see when I return shortly for Act 3. Our theme, as I have said, is revenge. But in the Cask of Amontillado, we are also dealing with the perfect crime. What more perfect place for concealing a body, concealing it for even centuries, than in the wall of a catacomb, an ancient burial ground beneath the earth, itself a house of bones and skulls and skeletons. Arno Montresor has done this with his unfaithful wife Margarita, and now with Isabella, daughter of Fortunato, who seduced Margarita. But, as with all perfect crimes, the criminal inevitably goes one step too far.
Worried sick, Arno. What could have happened to Isabella after she left you?
Fortunato, my good friend, I wish I could tell you, though. Really, I do think you're worrying unnecessarily.
Now, what do you mean, unnecessarily? You say you brought her home last night at 12:30. That when I returned from the carnival at 3 this morning, she was not in the house. And here it is 2 in the afternoon the next day. Where is she?
You ask me, she may have met with some friends and stayed with them.
No, I don't think so. It isn't like her, not like her at all. I must go to the police. I should have gone to them before this.
Oh, wait a little while yet. She'll show up. And by the way, I think I may have a surprise for you tonight. A pleasant surprise.
What do you mean?
You'll see.
The Amontillado. You have found me some Amontillado.
I didn't say that.
But that's what you mean. Where did you find it? How much of it?
Oh, now. You're running ahead of yourself and me. I said nothing about finding any Amontillado.
If you knew how much it means to me, the craving I have for that 1923 vintage.
I know. And believe me, when I tell you I've moved heaven and earth to find some for you.
And you have.
I didn't say that. And I'm not going to say another word until I'm sure I have the surprise for you.
And when will that be?
Perhaps tonight. Perhaps tomorrow. Perhaps never. I'll send a message to you. All right, keep moving. I want those grapes in before sundown.
Senor Montresor. A word with you?
Oh, Inspector, I'm very busy, as you can see.
Only a few minutes, no more.
Well, what?
Signor Bellini, you know him, I think?
Yes, we're very old friends.
He has reported his daughter missing, Isabella. You took her to the carnival last night, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Why?
Why? I felt sorry for her. I began to learn what it's like to be lonely, and I've just felt sorry for her. A girl her age should have some fun out of life. Lord knows there's little enough.
True. About your wife, would you have any news for me?
News?
Have you heard from her? A letter, a message of some kind?
Why, no,
Well, if you do, be sure to let me know.
I will. Now, I must get back to my work. All right, you there, bring up the next cart.
One thing more, senor.
Yes, what?
I understand that the vineyard is built on catacombs, early Christian catacombs beneath us here.
Well, yes, where my house stands over there used to be a monastery. Of course, that was centuries ago.
Interesting, very interesting. You know, I have never been inside a catacomb.
Oh, is that so? No, not those baskets. Load those baskets.
Even when I was in Rome. I was wondering if you'd mind if I went down into yours.
Why, no, not at all. I'll take you down myself sometime.
Excuse me, senor. Excuse me. I'm wondering if you might have seen a girl. She's 18. Her name is Isabella Bellini, and excuse me, signorina. Excuse me. Do you happen to know Isabella?
Fortunato, I've been looking all over for you.
Oh, she hasn't come home. No one has seen her. Everyone I've asked is...
What are you talking about?
Isabella. Would I be out here on the second night of Carnival if I hadn't...
Didn't you get my message?
Oh, what message?
I found her.
What?
I had to come into town late this afternoon to pick up the Cask of Amontillado.
Amontillado? A cask of Amontillado?
Yes, that's the surprise. My agent in Montilla several weeks ago, he found a whole cask. 1923 vintage.
Oh.
Anyway, it arrived today, and when I came into town to get it, I ran into Isabella.
Cask, a whole cask?
I took her to my house. On her feet from lack of sleep, and my house was the closest, so...
Then she's safe. Good. But the wine...
At my place, too, of course. Come on along. What a lucky night for you, my friend. You found your daughter and your favorite wine.
Good Lord, Arnold. How far down into your infernal catacombs must we go?
To the third level. The lowest. This is the second. One more.
Why did you have to...
Careful. Parts of the walls have broken down. Take care not to trip on broken stones.
And now that I've turned my ankle, you tell me. Now, why did you have to bring the cask, a whole cask, down to the lowest level?
The dampness. Very damp. Dampest part of the catacombs. See, the walls here are sweating with condensation.
Yes, but why did you have to bring...
I'm afraid all you know about wine, Fortunato, is how to drink it. When a place is damp, it's cool. The damper, the cooler. And casks of wine must be stored in... Oh, here we are. Precede me. I'll hold the torch high to give light ahead.
Of all places to store wine, bones, skulls, skeletons. More a grave than a wine cellar.
A grave? Yes. The grave of people buried here centuries ago. And now, yours. Your grave, fool. So, you're coming to your senses, Fortunato. Good. Because I want you to feel. I want you to savor every moment of horror that lies before you.
My head. Oh, no. What's happened?
I knocked you out. Picked up a rock and knocked you out with it.
But why? What's this, my arms? Well, my legs, I can't move them.
Because you're manacled to bolts in the wall.
Oh, what are you doing to me?
Walling you up, my friend, as I walled up Margarita, walled up Isabella, so you can die in agony of horror, die of suffocation as they did.
Oh, no, let me go. Release me, I beg you.
You can beg till your tongue rots in your mouth. It'll do you no good.
Anything. I'll do anything you wish. I'll give you anything you wish.
You're doing that already, giving me exactly what I wish. Revenge, Fortunato. Revenge. That's it, fool. Fight to free yourself while I put another stone in place. Think of what's to come. When the last stone, this one, goes in place. Darkness, blackness, the blackness of the grave. The grave made of walls covered with wet slime. A grave for the living. For you, you die slowly. Slowly die of suffocation. Last stone. See, fool? See? Watch now as I put it in place. Watch. Your eyes can't tear themselves from it, eh? Let me look into them, your eyes, and enjoy, relish, taste the hideous fear, the ghastly horror of your soul. Into place it goes. Into place. Last stone. Now. Inspector Montero, to what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Why, in a way, Senor Montresor, it's at your invitation.
I invited you?
Several weeks ago. You recall I mentioned that I'd never been down in the catacombs, and you said you would take me on a tour sometime.
Oh, that, yes. Well, I'm delighted to do so, but not today. I haven't the time.
I'm afraid the tour of the catacombs must be made today.
It's impossible, Inspector. I assure you, if I had the time to take you on a tour,
I'm sorry I should have made myself clear. I'm talking about me taking you on a tour.
You taking me?
Oh, yes. I've already seen them. Your overseer showed me around this morning, after I showed him the search warrant.
What are you trying to tell me?
That you're under arrest for the murder of Signor Fortunato Bellini, his daughter Isabella, and your wife Margarita.
You're out of your mind.
No, but I think you were out of yours. I must congratulate you, Signor. You came close, very close, to committing the perfect crime. But you overlooked one single factor, one very small thing.
What?
We'll go down, and I'll show you.
No.
Yes.
Fortunato's body. Exposed to view. The wall torn down. How did you find him?
We didn't.
But who broke the wall down then?
No one. It collapsed of its own weight. You see, Senor, the one mistake you made, the one thing you forgot, was the dampness on this third level. The excessive moisture. The wetness.
The cement. The cement wouldn't dry. It didn't dry.
As always with the perfect crime, there is some slight imperfection. Indeed, so very slight as not to be noticed by the murderer, to his deep regret. I'll be back shortly. During the rehearsal of our adaptation of the Cask of Amontillado, a friend of mine visiting the studio said, "You know, E.G., this isn't the Poe story exactly as he wrote it." I agreed that it wasn't and explained that there's such a vast difference between story writing and playwriting that no adaptation can follow any story exactly. However, I also explained that our respect and admiration for Edgar Allan Poe impelled us to retain all of the original story where possible, and above all, its chilling horror. We have reason to think Mr. Poe is pleased, and that you are too. Our cast included Richard Kiley, Francis Sternhagen, Roberta Maxwell, Leon Janney, and Robert Dryden. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. And now, a preview of our next tale.
Well, this may give you a lift. The morning paper, page 1. Shooting victim succumbs. Joseph Wilson, age 37, died at Mercy Hospital last night as the result of a mysterious bullet wound inflicted while he was driving along the old high road. Wilson, a plumber by trade, leaves a wife, Helen, and 2 children, ages 8 and 3.
Let me see that.
Well, you have the right. Not many men get to see their own obituaries.
Sure gives a man a funny feeling.
I'll bet.
The victim's widow said he will be buried in Clendon Cemetery. That policeman sure did it up thoroughly, didn't he?
Well, they could scarcely release a story that you died without being nice enough to bury you.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Sign-Off, the sinus medicines. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre.
CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Settle down and let me ask you a profound and difficult question. What is faith? I'm frank to tell you, I don't know. The word faith is in the dictionary, but do we know that the man who compiled the dictionary knew any more about faith than we do? Well, I should like to give you my favorite description of faith, which comes from the Bible. From the book of Hebrews, where it is written, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And that is what our story is all about.
Mr. Mather, I did what you said. I did just as you said. I followed to the letter what you said to do.
I've forgotten what I said.
You said, wait till the sun is straight overhead, then go to the big rock, the one that's worn off at the top. You said to take off all your clothes and lie on your belly and press your face hard into the rock and lick the rock with your tongue, you said. Lick the rock 29 times with your tongue. Then put your clothes back on and go home, and you'll be all right.
Did I really say all that? Did I really? I must be losing my mind. Our mystery drama, Faith and the Faker, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Elspeth Eric and stars Howard Da Silva. It is sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division and Sign-Off, the sinus medicines. I'll be back shortly with Act One. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. Such is the theme of our story, and the leading player is a man who never had faith in anything but himself, and not in the better part of himself either, as we shall soon discover.
I'll get the door open in a second, Mr. Mather. Oh, you must be drenched.
It's all right.
Oh, go on in, Mr. Mather.
After you. Eliza, I can't stand the pain.
There, my dear one.
Somebody help. The pain. I'm dying.
Look here, Judd. I've brought Mr. Mather.
What'd you say? Oh, the pain.
Mr. Mather is here. You'll be all right, Judd.
You said Mather?
Indeed, I did. He came out in this terrible storm just to make you well again.
He wouldn't come before.
Well, never mind about that. He's here now. Mr. Mather, show Judd you're here. Come closer.
Hello, Judd. You're here. I'm here. For all the good I can do you. Oh, you can do it, Mr. Mather. Do what, for heaven's sake? Make the pain go away. How am I supposed to do that? Make my leg the way it used to be. Look how it is now. Just look at it. It's all swollen.
Twice its regular size.
It's turning yellow. Fix it, Mr. Mather. Judd, I can't. I don't know how. You need a doctor.
There's no doctor on the island. You know that, Mr. Mather.
Then go to the mainland. There's a doctor there.
With his leg the way it is, he'd never reach the mainland.
I don't want no doctor. Not any doctor. I don't have faith in them. I have faith in you. In you, Mr. Mather. Oh, how did this happen? I mean, to your leg.
Well, he was chopping wood. His foot slipped and the axe caught him right at the ankle. It didn't seem like such a deep cut. He's had worse. So we bound it up and he went about his business for a couple of days and then the swelling started. And then the fever set in. Oh, feel his forehead. He's burning up.
Where's the axe?
The axe?
The axe, the thing that caused the whole mess. Where is it?
Well, right there by the door.
Well, what are you going to do, Mr. Mather? You won't cut my leg off, will you? Oh, of course I'm not going to cut off your leg. I'm going to punish this axe. I'm going to make it suffer. I'm going to torture it. I'm going to make it endure such pain.
But how?
How are you going to do that, Mr. Mather? I'm going to crucify it.
Crucify?
Give me some strong nails and a hammer, Eliza.
Yes, Mr. Mather.
You're going to crucify the axe? Right here, on this door. Don't you think it deserves to be crucified after what it did to you? Oh, yes.
Here are the nails and the hammer.
Now, you'll hang on this door, you villain. You'll hang there till you waste away and rot. You understand? Oh, and Judd. Yeah, Mr. Mather? Be sure you hold on. Hold on to your life. Hold on to your faith. I will. I'll try. I will. The thing that tried to kill you is being punished. Now I'm going to tell you what else you must do. Tell me. I'll do it. I promise you. I'll do it. I want you to lie very still in your bed and keep your eyes fixed on the axe. Never let your gaze wander from the axe on the door. Think to yourself how the axe is suffering. Curse it if you like. God will forgive you, for believe me, the devil is in that axe. Have faith, Judd. Keep your faith constant and keep your eyes on the axe. God bless you, Mr. Mather.
Now I must get back to my wife.
Oh, how is your dear wife?
The same. Good night to you both.
Oh, good night.
God bless you, Mr. Mather.
Now, wasn't that terrible of me, never thinking to ask about his poor wife? Paralyzed all these years, and him not able to do a thing to help her.
Be quiet, woman. I'm watching the axe.
Faker. Miserable, lying faker. Charlatan. Hypocrite. Imposter. If there is a God in heaven, he'd strike me dead for my endless frauds. One after another. All my life, why do they believe me? Why do they have that idiotic faith in me? I've never told them I could cure them of anything. More than that, I told them I couldn't. They go on believing and having faith. Faith in me. Can't they see? Don't they know? If I had any such power to heal, I'd give it all to Mary. To the one person in all this world I truly love. To my saintly, my adored own wife.
Mr. Mather! Mr. Mather!
My beautiful Mary, who sits all day in her wheelchair by the window and watches. Go, she says. They believe in you. They have faith in you. Go. And I go. And I know I can do nothing. I don't even know what ails them. But I invent some darn fool rigmarole. And sometimes it works. I don't know why.
Mr. Mather, wait up for me.
Oh, who is it?
It's Moses, Mr. Mather.
What are you doing out in the storm? Why aren't you back in that cave you call home?
I've been looking for you. I had to tell you, Mr. Mather. It worked.
What worked?
I'm cured. My stomach's firmed up. The sickness is gone. Oh, Mr. Mather, I did what you said. I did just as you said.
I've forgotten what I said.
Forgotten? How could you forget? You cured me of the sickness that was taking away all my strength, that was making a skeleton of me. How could you forget what you said for me to do?
Well, come on. What did I say?
You said, Moses, wait till the sun is straight overhead. Then go to the big rock, the one that's worn flat on the top. And you said, take off all your clothes and lie down on the rock, but don't look into the sun or it'll blind you. No, you said, lie on your stomach and press your face hard into the rock and lick that rock with your tongue. Now, you said, lick the rock 29 times with your tongue. Now, do this every day for 8 days, and you'll be all right.
Did I really say all that? I must be losing my mind.
Oh, you've got a mind different from other minds. We all know that.
You all know nothing. Nothing.
Well, it's probably true. We island people are very ignorant, but, Mr. Mather, we have faith, you see, and that makes up for our ignorance.
Look, I'm glad you're better. Now, I've really got to be going home. I don't like leaving my wife alone, especially with a storm like this. The house might be struck by lightning.
Oh, how is your wife?
Just the same.
You can't do nothing for her?
Nothing.
Your wife's not an island girl, is she? I understand you met her on the mainland.
That's right.
Now, you see, she ain't got the faith in you that we island people have. That's the whole trouble, Mr. Mather. She just needs to have the faith.
Mary?
I'm here, dear. I just made some tea. I thought you'd need it.
I do.
It's on the kitchen table.
Come join me.
I shall, of course I shall. I want to hear what happened to poor Judd.
I think I'll have a spot of rum in my tea. You?
No, not for me. Now tell me.
Oh, Mary. Why do you make me go on these fool errands?
I don't think they're foolish.
Oh, there's Judd lying in bed with his legs swollen the size of a tree trunk and the color of a lemon. I asked him how he'd done it, and he said he'd cut his ankle with an axe. It wasn't much of a cut, so they just bound it up with something. And a few days later, it started to swell. Well, there he is. Can't move out of bed in terrible pain with a raging fever.
So what did you do for him?
What could I do? I don't know anything about such things. If I tried to do anything, I could kill him.
Oh, but you did something, didn't you?
Oh, yes, I did something. I crucified the axe.
Crucified the axe?
Well, they were both looking at me, and I felt so helpless. I did the first thing that came into my mind. I asked Eliza for hammer and nails, and I nailed the axe to the door. Oh. Then I told Joe to lie perfectly still, never take his eyes off the axe, to think how the axe was suffering for the sin it had committed. Mary, I don't know why I did that or why I said that. I guess I thought it would take the poor man's mind off his pain.
It will help. I'm sure it will. You help so many people.
Why can't I help you? I don't care for any of them. I care only for you. If only you knew how I love you.
I know, dearest.
More every day, I swear it. Each day I think to myself, no man has ever loved a woman as I love my Mary. Then the sun goes down and rises again. And as the day dawns, I think, I love her more today than I did yesterday. And yesterday I loved her so much I thought I would burst with loving her. And here it is another day and I love her even more. How can such things be?
I don't know. I'm just content that they are.
Mary, I must tell you something.
What, my darling?
It was not always that way with me.
What way?
I didn't always love you.
No.
When we met, I told you almost right away that I loved you. But that wasn't true.
No.
When I asked you to marry me and I said I loved you beyond anything on earth, that wasn't true.
No.
The whole first year we were married, I didn't love you. But then we decided to come here to live on this island. It would be cheaper to live here, we said. But I think it was something else that made us come here. I think it was something in me that made me want to leave the mainland and all that sort of life that I'd lived there, and to be on this tiny spot, surrounded with water, set to the music of seagulls. I wanted to live here alone with you. It was then that I began to love you, not before.
I know.
Have you always known?
Yes.
I might have guessed. That's the sort of woman you are. Oh, Mary. There's a doctor on the mainland. If I could get him to come here.
Now, darling, you know how...
Or if somehow I could get you to the mainland where he could take a look at you.
Dearest, before we came here, we saw a dozen doctors. And they all said the same thing. You love me less because I can't walk.
You know I don't.
Well...
But this doctor on the mainland, he would know of specialists, of medical centers. Things have been developed in the last 10 years.
That would all be very expensive, my darling.
I could get the money somehow.
How?
I don't know. Somehow, borrow it.
Borrow it from whom? Everyone here is as poor as we are. Oh, if we only had the stock in the silver mine that was promised us.
I know.
If only the old man hadn't died.
What's the use of thinking about that?
No use at all. None at all. So, let's think of other things. Happy things. Oh, now, who could that be?
I'm not going out again in this storm.
Mr. Mather.
Come in, Eliza. Get out of that storm.
Mrs. Mather. Mr. Mather, I had to come tell you right away. Judd's all right. He's all right. The leg opened up suddenly, just like that. He was lying on the bed, very still, like you told him to do, staring at the axe you nailed to the door, and suddenly I looked at his poor swollen leg, and the flesh parted just below the knee, and all this yellow poison began pouring out. And Mr. Mather, you know what else? At that very moment that the flesh of his leg parted, that axe dropped straight down to the floor. Straight down to the floor, Mr. Mather. I was standing right there, and I saw everything with my own 2 eyes.
To what do you wish to ascribe this amazing happening? Was it coincidence? Plain luck? Was it some wisp of magic floating in the air? Was it the substance of things hoped for? The essence of things not seen? That is to say, was it faith? We'll come back to you shortly with Act 2. Weeks have passed since Mather visited the man with the sorely infected leg. And Mather's life with his beloved Mary has resumed its normal course. A narrow life, lived meagerly, yet happily, because of the great love between them. Then one day...
Mary? Mary?
Yes, dear. I'll be right there.
No, I'll come to you.
No, now don't you bother. This wheelchair gets me around very well. It's my chariot. Anyway, that's the way I think of it. Oh, what have you got there?
It's a letter.
A letter?
Mm-hmm. Packet from the mainland was in the harbor when I was coming back from the market. Captain shouted to me and held up this. He was as surprised as I was.
Now, who on earth would be writing to us? Oh, you don't suppose it could possibly be about the silver mine stocks?
Oh, no. Oh, no, it's too much.
Is it about the silver mine?
Oh, no. You remember a few weeks back I told you about old Moses who lives in a cave near the sea?
Oh.
How he was troubled with a bad case of diarrhea, and the poor old man was near to exhaustion. He begged me for help. Well, what could I say? I said the first thing that came into my head. I said, go lie on the flat rock at midday. Lie on your belly for an hour. Then, because it didn't sound like much of a recommendation, I said, lick the rock 29 times. I don't know what made me say that. I suppose I liked the sound of it.
And did he do it?
Faithfully, every day. And it worked. It actually worked.
Oh, darling.
I don't understand why it worked. It was such an idiotic thing to tell him to do.
But it did work. You made it work.
Wait. A week ago, I was passing by that rock, and I climbed up and took some scrapings of it with my knife, and I mailed them to a laboratory and asked them to analyze it. This letter is their answer. Mary, that rock, that silly flat rock lying out there in the sun, it contains a large percentage of kaolin. Of kaolin, Mary. Do you realize what that means?
Well, I don't even know what kaolin is.
It's a kind of clay, a very fine clay, almost invisible to the naked eye, and it has the property of absorbing things. Oh, it's famous, Mary. People use it in porcelain and for other things, but most importantly, they use it to correct the condition that was destroying poor Moses.
Don't tell him. Don't tell Moses.
Why not?
Well, he wouldn't understand, and he'd rather think it was you.
But I don't want him to think it was me. I'll get that. Nicholas, how are you?
It's my wife, Mr. Mather. She's very bad.
Come in, Nicholas. What's the matter with Nellie?
It's the migraine, Mary. Nellie's half out of her mind with it. Mr. Mather, please do something for her.
Nicholas, I know nothing about migraine headaches. What about the pills the doctor from the mainland gave her?
Well, they do no good at all.
Darling, you must go.
But I can't do anything.
You'll think of something.
Please, Mr. Mather.
All right, let's go.
You will think of something. You always have.
Now, Nellie, I know how much it hurts. An anvil is being struck inside your head.
Yes. It's worse.
I know.
She can't bear to move her head, not even to take some water.
I'm not going to ask you to move your head, Nellie. I'm not going to ask you to move anything. I'm simply going to take your hands in mine. Here. First the right hand, then the left hand. There, that's all.
That's all?
Hush. This is between Nellie and me, Nicholas. Now, Nellie, try to look at me if you can. Look deep into my eyes.
Yes.
Look into my eyes, but don't think of me. Think only of your hands. Feel how cold they are.
Oh, cold. Like ice.
Now think of the ice melting. Think of sun shining on ice. Shining on your hands. Hot sunlight.
Hot.
Your hands are getting warmer.
Warmer.
And warmer. Why, your hands are beginning to feel hot, burning. I can hardly hold them.
Don't let go, because... don't let go.
Why, Nellie?
Because my head is beginning to clear.
Good.
Is it true?
Is it true, Nellie?
The pain is leaving me. Hold on to my hands till the pain is gone.
Don't worry. I'll sit right here and hold your hands till the pain is quite gone. Mary, it was ridiculous. I had no idea what to do. All I could think of was that you had said you'll think of something, and holding her hands was what I thought of, so I did it.
And it worked.
Yes, it worked. I don't know why.
Nellie had faith in you.
But I don't care about Nellie, or Moses, or Judd, or any of them. I only care about you. And I can't do anything for you.
You love me. You make me happy.
Do I make you strong and well and able to walk? Even raise yourself from that wheelchair?
No.
Then what good am I? What earthly good am I? Mary, I've been thinking of something Moses said to me that night during the storm. He said the reason I could help so many of the islanders was because they had faith in me.
Oh, they do, darling.
And he said that perhaps the reason I couldn't help my own wife was because you're not an islander and you don't have faith in me.
Darling, I love you. With all my heart, I love you.
But do you have faith in me? I mean, the strong faith, the kind of faith that moves mountains, as the Bible calls it. Do you?
I only know I love you.
Mary, I'm going to get that doctor from the mainland. One way or another, I'm going to bring him to this island.
Without money.
I'll mortgage my life.
And without a boat.
I'll borrow a boat.
With no one to sail the boat?
I'll manage, you'll see. You'll see I'll manage somehow.
Mr. Mather, it's Nellie again, another migraine. You must come. She's in such pain.
Nicholas, not now. I have other things on my mind.
Please, Mr. Mather, you don't know how she suffers. 2 weeks ago, when you cured her, that was bad enough, but this time it's worse. You must come.
Darling, go with Nicholas.
You really want me to?
I want you to.
Very well, if my wife wants me to go with you, Nicholas. Come on.
You will think of something, my darling. You'll see. You'll think of something.
I know. It hurts, doesn't it, Nellie? I know it hurts. Your head is bursting with pain. Your stomach is churning.
What's the matter? Why do you just stand there?
The light through the shutters pierces your eyeballs, doesn't it, Nellie?
Aren't you going to take her hands, Mr. Mather, or tell her to look into your eyes?
No.
Well, why not? Are you going to do something else?
No.
But you can't let her suffer like that. Aren't you going to do anything at all?
No. But you are.
Me? What can I do?
What I did.
But I have no power, Mr. Mather, not like you.
I'm going to give you my power. Come here. Pull that chair up to your wife's bedside. Sit down. Now, take your wife's hands in yours. That's right. Nellie, look at your husband. Look at him.
Nicholas.
Dearest. Nellie, your hands are in your husband's hands. Now I'm going to put my hands on top of his hands. Whatever power is in me will pass from my hands into his. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand, Nicholas?
Yes.
All right, then. Now look deep into your husband's eyes, Nellie. Never let your gaze wander. And you, Nicholas, keep your eyes fixed on the eyes of your wife. That's it. Very good. Neither of you knew the moment when I removed my hands. That means that my power went into the hands of Nicholas. And now the power in the hands of Nicholas is passing into your hands, Nellie.
Yes. I feel...
What do you feel?
Heat in my hands. My hands are burning.
They are burning, Mr. Mather. I can feel them. Like flames.
Don't let go. Hold on, Nellie. How does your head feel?
Better. Oh, much better.
Oh, Nellie.
The pain is nearly gone.
Stay like that, the two of you, for another 10 minutes, and the pain will be gone completely.
Oh, Mr. Mather.
Oh, how can we ever thank you?
I must be getting back to my wife now.
Well, surely that there must be something we can do for you.
You've done so much for us.
Nothing really. Oh, wait a moment. You have a boat, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And Nicholas, you know how to sail it?
Yes, I know how to sail it.
Will you take me to the mainland in your boat?
Of course.
And bring me back?
Well, yes, I certainly will, Mr. Mather.
Fine. Sometime in the next couple of weeks. Oh, one other thing, Nicholas. You and I will be making the trip to the mainland alone. But on the return trip, there will be another man with us, a very important personage. Is that understood?
Anything you say, Mr. Mather. We owe you so much.
You will repay me in full.
I am quite sure that there is at least one person who has faith in you. Is it your wife? Your husband? Your father or mother? A child? At the very least, a dog or a cat who trusts you to fulfill the unspoken promises made by the very existence of your love for each other. Of course there is. Though if, and I hate to utter the words, if there is not, then you must be the unhappiest person in the world. I'll be back shortly with Act 3.
I want that sinus medicine.
Headache tablets?
No, sinus medicine. Sinus tablets. Helps the headache and the pressure.
Oh, you mean sign-off.
Exactly.
Headache pain is one thing. A sinus headache is something else. Sometimes your whole face can seem to throb with pain. You want relief. Take Sign-Off tablets. Sineoff, the sinus medicine that gives you a full dose of pure aspirin plus a sinus drainer. Sign-Off, the sinus medicine that helps relieve sinus pain while you drain. And Sign-Off doesn't stop there. Have you tried Sign-Off Sinus Spray, the fastest known form of sinus congestion relief? It works in seconds. That's Sign-Off Sinus Spray. When sinus flares up, use Sign-Off tablets and spray only as directed.
Signeoff.
Sign-Off.
Exactly.
Sign-Off, the sinus medicines in the bright red box.
Tell me something. What do you think of when I say Culligan?
Culligan?
Uh-huh.
I think of water.
Yep. Everyone gets that right away. I guess it's because Culligan's only business is good water.
Just water?
Just water. In 85 countries all over the world, Culligan's full-time business is the softening, filtering, and conditioning of water.
Full-time?
Full-time. And Culligan water softeners come in a bigger selection and a wider range of prices, with exclusive features like triple hull tanks and like that. Your Culligan man is a man who cares.
Say, does the Culligan...
So do as your neighbors do. To rent or buy the leading brand of water conditioner, just call your nearby Culligan man.
All right. Hey, Culligan man.
There's his truck now.
His truck? I thought he'd come in a boat.
Want to try Culligan soft water without buying? Now you can rent an automatic water softener for as little as $5.50 a month. For complete details on how you can rent a Culligan, pick up your phone and say...
Hey, Culligan man!
This is WBBM Chicago. News Radio 78. 19 degrees at Midway. It's 11:06.
2 weeks have passed since Mather mysteriously conveyed to Nicholas the means by which he might cure the migraine headaches of his own wife. In return, Mather exacted from Nicholas a promise to take him in his sailboat to the mainland. Now Mather is about to demand the fulfillment of that promise.
Come in. Come in.
Mr. Mather, come in.
Come sit down. Have some coffee with us.
Thank you, no, Nellie. Another time. Nicholas, today's the day.
What day's that?
Today is the day you take me to the mainland in your boat.
Oh.
You haven't forgotten your promise, have you?
Oh, no.
Oh, we would never break a promise to you, Mr. Mather.
How long will we be away? I don't like to leave Nellie alone too long, if one of her headaches should come back.
Should take us the better part of a day to get there. Then perhaps part of a day to find the person I'm looking for. A little time to persuade him to come back here with us. 3 days, probably. 4 at the most, the very most.
Now that you've shown me how to rid Nellie of her terrible headaches, I hate to leave her.
Oh, Nicholas, you promised. You must keep your promise.
Thank you, Nellie.
Oh, I'll be all right. I know I will. And, something else, Mr. Mather. Every day I'll go to your house to be sure Mary's all right.
Mary does pretty well for herself. She knows how to get around in her wheelchair.
Oh, yes, but she might need something from the store. And besides, she'd like the company, wouldn't she, with you away?
Of course she would. And it's very kind of you to offer. Nicholas, bring the boat to my dock in, we'll say about an hour.
Well, I could be there sooner if you like.
No, an hour would be soon enough. I want a chance to talk to my wife, tell her of Nellie's kind offer, and a few other things. Goodbye, and thanks to you both.
A good journey, Mr. Mather.
I'll see to that.
Mary?
I'm right here, dear.
I just talked to Nicholas. He's going to sail me to the mainland, and I'm going to see that doctor. I'm going to tell him about you, and I'm going to bring him back here.
Oh, darling.
My mind's made up.
Without money?
Before I go, my love, I must tell you a story about myself.
Now, there's nothing about you I don't know. We've been man and wife for 10 years.
This is a story about me before we ever met, ever married. And I have to tell it to you. Now. It can't wait.
Darling.
I have to tell you now.
If you must, all right.
Before I met you, Mary, I may as well say it right out. I was one of the top 10 swindlers in the country.
Swindler?
Con men, confidence men. Men who trim suckers.
I don't know what that means exactly.
Men who pretend they have ways to make large sums of money for people who trust them. My favorite gimmick...
Gimmick?
A scheme. Scheme for getting money out of people. My favorite scheme was the dying stockholder pitch.
Pitch?
The tale I tell the suckers. The story. I tell them I was a financial developer of mining properties.
But that's what you told me.
I know. Yes, I know. Then I tell them that there was this silver mine out in Nevada or someplace that had been closed down 5 years ago when the vein ran out. But now the State Bureau of Mines had found a new vein, and it was going to open it up again.
Well, you told me...
Wait. Then I tell them that the last quotation on it was $1 a share, but if the mine was to be reopened, it would be worth 10.
Oh, yes, dear,
but I'd say that the only hitch was that the stock was held by a very, very old man, a very sick old man. A very sick old man who was desperate for money, and if he got it right away, he'd sell the stock at $1 a share.
I know all this.
I know you do. Because I told the whole story to you. And you gave me all your money, Mary. All your savings. Every penny you had in the world.
But the old man died. He died before he could transfer the silver mine stock.
That's what I told you.
And he spent the money on doctors and nurses. That's what you said. And he never got around to sending us the stock certificates. So we had no proof that we'd sent him the money to pay for the certificates. That's what you told me.
Oh, Mary, my sweetest, my dearest, my most beloved. There never were stock certificates. There never was a silver mine. There never was an old man who was sick and dying.
Well, then what happened to the money?
I kept it. It's what we were living on for the last 10 years.
But why? I don't understand. Why didn't you just take my money and go off somewhere?
You must know the answer to that.
But I don't.
Because I couldn't bear to leave you.
But why not?
Because I'd begun to love you. It was such a strange, such a new feeling for me. Because I'd never loved anyone in my life. I didn't know how to say the word. Even when I asked you to marry me, the word love wouldn't come to my lips.
I remember.
But you married me anyway, and oh, my darling, for 10 years, such love has been growing in my heart.
And I've watched it grow.
And now, my dearest, I'm going to sail to the mainland with Nicholas. I'm going to find the doctor who will make you well, who will release you from that wheelchair so that you can walk, run on the beach with me.
But we're happy the way we are.
Dearest, tell me before I go. Tell me you forgive me for the lies I told you 10 years ago. For the lie I've lived ever since.
For 10 years I've known all I needed to know about you. That you loved me.
Nicholas will be along pretty soon with his boat.
Let's just sit by the window and wait for him. And hold each other's hand. And not talk at all. Mary, it's me. I'm coming in. Oh, come on in, Nellie.
Oh, Mary, I'm so sorry I'm so late.
That's all right, Nellie.
But I promised I'd be here first thing in the morning.
Well, you have been every day.
Oh, till today. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Now, Nellie, don't make such a fuss. Here, there's coffee on the table. Help yourself.
Oh, that I will. And then I'm going to tell you the most fantastic story you ever heard in all your born days.
Well, I've heard a lot of fantastic stories in my time.
Oh, well, not like this one you haven't. Oh, you want coffee?
No, thanks. I've had plenty.
Well, then, wait till you hear what I'm going to tell you.
I'm waiting.
But as you very well know, your husband and mine have been gone for 3 days.
Today will be the 4th day.
And, well, you know, Nicholas was very nervous about going because he didn't want to leave me. But to tell you the truth, I was nervous about his going, too, for fear I might have another one of my headaches. Ever since your husband showed my husband how to make them go away, well, you know all about that.
Yes.
Yeah, well, everything's been all right. And after all, they were only going to be gone 3 or 4 days. What could happen? Such a short time. And the trip was so important. Your husband said something about bringing somebody back to the island with them, some very important personage.
A doctor.
A doctor? Really?
A doctor who might be able to help me.
Yes, it's so strange that your husband can help everybody, but he can't help you.
Oh, he helps me. Just by living with me and loving me.
Oh, but not to walk.
No. But go on with what you were going to tell me.
Oh, well, Mary, this morning I woke up and... What do you think?
I don't know, Nellie. Tell me.
Another migraine headache. That's what I woke up with.
Oh, no, Nellie, no.
I was in despair that the pain... But then, you know what I did? I lay quietly in my bed, and I thought of Nicholas. And I thought of your husband, too, I admit it. And I thought of how they held my hands and looked into my eyes, and how my hands grew warmer and warmer as they held them, and how the pain in my head grew less and less. And Mary, do you know what started to happen?
Tell me.
My hands grew warmer and warmer till they were hot. I did it myself, Mary, all by myself. I myself made my own hands grow hotter and hotter till I felt as though they were on fire. And little by little, the pain in my head started to go away.
Nellie, how wonderful.
So that's why I'm late coming to see you.
Oh, it's all right, Nellie. Truly, it is all right.
Oh, well, the men should be on their way back by now.
Yes, why don't you go to the window and look out? I'll make some fresh coffee.
Oh, they're coming! They're coming! I can see the sails. There's a good wind blowing.
Good. We'll have coffee ready for them.
Oh, they'll be coming up alongside the dock.
Now, you'd best let Nicholas know you're here, Nellie.
I will. Nicholas! Nicholas, I'm here. I'm here with Mary. She's making coffee. Hurry. Oh, they'll be right in. They're tying up the boat.
I'll pour the coffee.
You want me to do it?
No, I want to do it. A cup for Nicholas. A cup for my beloved husband. And a special cup for the wonderful doctor. Oh, shall I pour another cup for you?
Why not? This is a very special occasion.
And one for me, too.
That must be Nicholas. Oh, Nicholas. Oh, my dear, I have such things to tell you.
Where's my husband?
He's coming.
And the doctor?
Darling. Oh, darling, there you are. Look at what we have for all of you. Fresh, hot coffee, 5 cups. It's a special occasion, Nellie says.
What's the occasion?
Why, the doctor. Yes, where is the doctor?
There is no doctor.
You couldn't find him?
Oh, yes, we found him.
He wouldn't come?
No, he wouldn't come.
Was he afraid to make the trip?
Yes, he was afraid of the trip.
Mary, I tried my best.
Close the door, darling, will you? It's getting very cold in here.
Mary, I told him I'd work for him for the rest of my life. Believe me.
Stay where you are. Stay right where you are by the door.
Mary, please.
Don't move. Don't come near me.
Mary, what are you doing?
Don't any of you come near me.
What is she trying to do?
I think... Mary, are you sure?
Very sure. Very sure.
Mary! Mary, what are you doing?
I am very slowly, very surely, and very lovingly walking into the arms of my husband. Hold out your hands, my darling. I am walking. I'm walking to greet you at the door of our home.
Oh, Mary.
the moral of our story, if it has a moral? Why, that the handmaiden of faith is truth. That without perfect truth, there can never be perfect faith. But when both truth and faith are perfect, why then, miracles happen. As one has just happened in our story called Faith and the Faker. I'll be back shortly.
You're on the open road, rolling free and feeling great about your new Buick Century. Because in published EPA mileage test results, a V6 Buick Century got the best highway mileage of any U.S. midsize car. 24 miles per gallon and 16 in the city. Your Century's comfortable, it's nimble, it's economical, and above all, it's a Buick. Living free.
Boy, do I have a headache. Why do they have to make these caps so hard to open?
For a very good reason. Children open things that they shouldn't. That's why we have safety packaging. For the life of your child, you can live with a little inconvenience. For further information, write the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, Washington, D.C. 20207.
I cannot resist going back to my first definition of faith. The definition given us by the good book itself. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. The lines bear repeating and deserve memorizing. The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That, dear listener, is faith. Our cast included Howard Da Silva, Mary Jane Higby, Bryna Rayburn, Guy Sorrell, and Russell Horton. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. And now, a preview of our next tale.
When you're afraid your old man will yank Kate out of town, or at least hide her somewhere, it's now or never.
How do we do it?
Well, if your house wasn't in the country, we couldn't. Sure, the place is locked and barred, but what we do is get a rope ladder up to Katrine's windowsill.
What about the guard? How do we get through the gate?
I'll take care of him. He's a cinch. You'll stay out of sight while I rap with our friend. I'll be a drunk looking for a shot of booze to cure a hangover.
Oh, Jody.
Listen, it'll be a great act. I'll be falling down drunk, see? I get close to the guy, he's off guard. Whammo, I knock him out. You go up the ladder and persuade Kate to come down it.
Can I persuade her?
Oh, sure you can. You hold all the cards, sweetheart. That plan you've worked out for her is a winner.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by imported Vigna Rosé wine. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
That's the end of our mystery show. I hope nobody swooned. So long, folks, it's time to go. Thanks for staying tuned. We'll be back by and by with more of radio's best. A tale to terrify. I'll give you party and the rest. We guarantee our story will send chills right up your spine. Just make sure that you're the one who chills the Vigna wine. But for now, turn on the light and open up the lock. Hope we didn't leave you in a fright or in a state of shock.
David Line, Hartford, Connecticut. This is WBBM, Chicago News Radio 78.
Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. What is your pleasure this time? How about a little murder with mystic overtones? Not to mention a most unusual motive. Why do men kill? In the ordinary way, for money, for power, for women. And then we have those who kill for revenge, or out of jealousy, or because they are consumed with hatred, or driven insane by emotion. Moving along, we even have those idealistic spirits who will kill you for your own good, because you are too obstinate to accept their religion or their way of life, which they insist is better than yours. With all of these, we are more or less familiar. But did you ever hear of a man who was killed because the murderer wanted his talent? You're about to.
Don't kill me. I'm sorry, Fred. I really don't want to. I have money. Take my money. I don't want your money. I'll resign. You can have my job. You can have a great career. I said I was sorry. I'll give you everything I own. It's not enough. It's not enough. But I'm rich. It's not enough. Well, what do you want? I want everything you are. Everything you are.
Our mystery drama, A Death of Kings, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Sam Dan and stars Mercedes McCambridge. His name is Frederick Sparling, and you'd never notice him in the crowd. He's not much to look at, middle-aged, stoop-shouldered, nearsighted. He spends his days in a science laboratory at one of our great state universities, teaching serious, younger versions of himself, men and women who in 20 years will become what he is now. Of the estimated 3 billion people who inhabit this planet, less than 1,000 would possess even a glimmer of an understanding of what he's talking about. It's an almost metaphysical mixture of physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology. Well, that's how he spends his days, lecturing. However, he spends his nights listening to a lecture. And it's usually a variation on the same theme.
Well, the suspense is over. Not that there ever was any. We knew all along Clontarf would be made head of the department.
Well, Emma, after all...
After all what? The second time in 12 years you've been passed over. But that's you. Good old patient, plodding Frederick Sparling. Nobody ever has to worry about fearful Freddy. He won't get mad. He won't quit. Go ahead. Abuse him. Abuse him.
Now, my dear, I'm not aware that I've been used or abused. Indeed, in the department, everyone is the soul of courtesy.
To promote Clontarf, who doesn't have half your seniority.
Emma, dear, seniority isn't everything.
Oh, no?
No, of course not.
Well, then, this must be something new. I see. In the early days, you said you were passed over because you had no seniority. And now that you have more than anybody else, suddenly seniority doesn't matter.
Emma, it's complicated.
No, it isn't. It's very simple.
You know as well as I do that to be the department head, you have to be a full professor.
Oh, let's not start rubbing salt in that wound.
Yes, but Emma, you...
The most brilliant man in the field, and you're only an associate professor.
Emma, we go through this again and again, and really, you know why I'm not a full professor.
Well, maybe you're satisfied being pushed around.
His sudden furious outbursts have been known to create such serious imbalance.
Well, I'm right. You know I'm right. It's pure and plain and simple justice.
Chemically, you risk death from oxygen deprivation.
Oh, I'll die. And it's going to be the perfect crime, because you'll kill me. But who could prove it?
What's the district attorney going to say? Your Honor, he worried her to death. He got her so mad.
There is a logical, reasonable explanation why I cannot be head of the department.
Well, I don't want to hear it.
I can't be head of the department unless I'm a full professor, and I won't be appointed full professor because, well, I haven't published anything.
And why not?
Because...
Why not? Look at the tripe those other men write.
Precisely. And I won't publish unless it's something meaningful.
Meaningful? Why, the work you're doing...
I refuse to publish, to set forth certain...
Why? Why?
I'll tell you why. I've been conducting experiments that I would never say this except in the privacy of my own home and to my own wife. I realize how this might sound to strangers. But I am now at a point where I have gone beyond the limits of present scientific knowledge. Well, aren't you going to say anything?
What do you want me to say?
I know how that must sound. As if I'm insane. How can any man presume to say that he knows more than...
If it's true, why shouldn't he say it? Is it true?
Yes. Yes, I'm afraid it's true.
You're afraid? Why are you afraid?
Because no man should know what I know.
But you do know it. And that's why you should publish.
No. No, never. I'm afraid that if I published what I know now, it could very well mean the end of the world.
I don't care.
What do you say?
Oh, you scientists. You always talk like that. It's so ridiculous. The world goes on.
Yes, but this...
If you're afraid you can destroy the world, don't let that stop you. What good is the world to me? Or to you, the way things are now? You're becoming the laughing stock of the college, and I'm becoming a dowdy old hag. And I'm not even 40.
Oh, now, my dear...
Now, my dear, what? You're the world's most brilliant scientist.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say that.
Well, I'd say it. You should have recognition. You should be internationally famous.
Well, there are people who know about me.
Well, what about me? I want some fun in my life. Some excitement. I want to stop squeezing dollars and hoarding pennies. I want to meet interesting and important people. I want you to start publishing.
Is it possible that you don't understand? I told you, if I were to publish my findings, it could very well mean the end of the world.
Who cares? As long as you get credit for it. What? What's this? Who's calling us? It isn't as if we were somebody.
Now, Emma, we are important. Everyone thinks highly of us.
Are you kidding? Well, aren't you even curious?
About what?
About who's at the door.
Oh, yes, I know who's at the door.
You do?
It's Alex.
Alex?
Alexander Thornhill.
I never heard of him.
He's one of my students, one of my graduate students. Brilliant fellow, but he,
Yes?
But he's having some financial difficulties, so I told him he could, stay here for a while.
You what?
Well, we do have a spare room.
Well, you just tell him.
But he has no place to stay.
What am I running here? A hotel?
He'll have to leave college. A brilliant mind will be lost to science.
Science? There's too many brilliant minds now. You just tell him you made a mistake.
Emma, you can't...
Go ahead, make me the villain. Just tell him that your wife disapproves.
But, Emma, this young man must have a place.
You won't tell him. All right, I'll tell him. I'm coming. Wear out the bell. Look here. I'm Mrs. Farling, and I want to tell you that it's...
Good evening. I'm so happy to meet you.
It's A pleasure.
I thought Dr. Sparling had told me all about you, but I see now he's really told me nothing.
Is that Alex Thornhill, Emma?
Yes, it's Alex, Professor.
Come in.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Emma? Miss Alex Thornhill. Alex? My wife?
How do you do?
Have you, had your supper?
Frankly, no.
Emma, we should have quite a bit of the roast left. Why don't you fix a bite for Alex while I see to the spare room? Well, Alex, I thought you were bringing all of your things.
I did. Everything I own in the world.
In that little sack?
Let me get your room ready, and meanwhile, you two can get acquainted. Excuse me?
Yes. He didn't ask you, did he?
What do you mean?
Oh, well, I can tell you're not overjoyed to have me stay here.
Well, why do you say that?
Are you sure I won't be in the way?
Why would you be in the way?
Oh, I had the feeling.
No, actually, we have a big house here, and we should share it with, well, you must be hungry.
I'm starved.
I'm sorry, because I don't think you'll enjoy dinner.
Oh, why not?
Well, the professor has all kinds of quirky diet things. He has a peculiar nervous system. He can't have salt or spices or anything that's good, so we have a pretty tasteless cuisine around here. And besides, I'm a terrible cook.
I admire women who can't cook.
You do?
Sure. Shows they've been putting their time to better use.
I have the feeling that I've been standing in a peat bog for the past 15 years. Oh, why did I say that?
Probably because it's true.
Well, of course it's true, but that's no reason to blurt it out to a perfect stranger.
Am I really a stranger?
I don't know what's the matter with me. I met you just a couple of minutes ago, and here I am just about ready to tell you the story of my life.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
You probably know it. Dating, aging wife of an obscure professor. But well, forget it. Do you take coffee or tea?
May I call you Emma?
If you can stand it.
Emma happens to be my favorite name.
How could Emma be anybody's favorite name? It has such a school teacher, maiden aunt sort of ring to it.
Oh, no. Emma was the name of my favorite English queen.
Emma?
Yes. Forget Elizabeth and Victoria. Emma was the most spectacular of them all. Oh, what a woman. Wife to 2 kings, mother of 2 kings, seductive, brilliant, wanton. Emma, the last great Saxon queen of England. And you remind me of Emma.
You speak as if she were a friend of yours.
There are times when I actually feel close to her. Now, for instance, do you suppose that you could be the reincarnation of Emma?
Oh, that's impossible.
Why? Every one of us is the reincarnation of someone else.
Well, that's ridiculous. You can't be serious.
I'm always serious.
Well, don't let Fred hear you talk like that.
Why not? What do you think the good Professor Sparling is really talking about in his advanced seminar? Reincarnation.
You can't be serious. Fred, a believer in reincarnation?
Oh, he wouldn't call it that. He hides it behind formulae and equations, but it's a form of reincarnation.
Oh, I don't believe it.
And his purposeful reincarnation, instead of the hit and miss haphazard thing that exists in nature.
And I could be the reincarnation of Queen Emma.
Oh, yes.
How would you know?
Come here.
No, don't.
Why?
Because...
Yes, because?
Because he might come downstairs and...
Really?
Listen, I love my husband.
Oh.
And besides, I hardly even know you.
You know me. You knew me. Think back.
No, I don't believe a word of what you're saying.
I need you, Emma. I always needed you.
What are you talking about?
I wished you last time. I didn't realize what you could do for me.
You must be crazy. Are you listening to what you're saying?
That was 1,000 years ago. I was ignorant. I was arrogant. I wanted to own the world, but I didn't know how.
Then what do you want with me? You're hardly more than a boy.
I'm older than I look.
Oh, please. And you're not as old as you look.
Thank you.
But I have a secret magic formula that can make you look younger, years younger.
What's that?
Just come here.
But
You don't have to talk.
Alex.
Now, look at yourself. Look in the mirror. Look at your eyes, your face.
If Fred finds out, it'll kill him.
I know, my darling, but it's necessary for him to die in any event.
Die? Fred has to die? Why? Why does he have to die?
Because we shall be compelled to kill him.
He has to kill Fred?
Yes, my dearest Emma, but be still. I see you two are getting along famously. Well, your room is ready for you, Alex. Thank you. You know, Emma, darling, I was sure you'd approve of Alex. I was convinced you'd like him. The amenities, the niceties, the small talk that makes up so much of the ritual of our lives. I was sure you'd approve of him. I was convinced you'd like Alex. If the good professor only knew how much Emma approved of and liked Alex. You may find out when I come back shortly with Act 2. I suppose it's the story of the world. True genius is often overlooked and must labor in obscurity while sham and fraud receive the rewards of the genuine artful. However, as they say, virtue is its own reward, and it's usually enough for the truly virtuous. For Professor Frederick Sparling, enough is as good as a feast. He has his work, he has his wife, he has his home, and he even has his disciple. Can the true man of learning ask for more?
Seize him! Seize him!
No, pity me! Pity me, my lady!
Pity! What has pity to do with the line of succession?
Please, my lady, please!
Out! Forward! Kill him!
No!
Kill him! Kill him! Kill him!
Emma, my dear, wake up.
You... What? What do you want?
Wake up.
What do you want? What's the matter?
You were having a nightmare.
I was. Oh, yes, I was. Oh, it was so real.
I know.
You know.
Until you became disturbed, it was... Oh, it must have been a splendid dream. I could hear what you were saying.
What was I saying?
You seem to be a famous namesake of yours, Emma of Normandy, who married first King Ethelred and then King Canute.
Yes, that was the dream.
But now, what could possibly cause you to have such a dream?
Fred, how long is Alex going to stay with us?
I don't know. Why?
Because I don't think it's a good idea.
I thought you liked Alex.
I do.
A young person about the house seems to make things more cheerful.
Young person? It isn't as if we were ready for our Social Security.
Well, we're matured, settled.
Fred, how long do you want him to stay?
But he practically pays his way. He makes himself useful about the house. He fixes things.
Fred, please. I would rather that he left us.
Why? What objection can you make against it?
Alex, I don't think coming to a place like this is such a good idea.
Why not?
Well, really, we shouldn't be seen together.
Who's going to see us?
When is the last time you went out dancing?
I don't remember.
When is the last time you had any fun?
I can't remember. Alex, I want to tell you something.
Do you want me to leave the house?
How did you know?
Because you're being Emma. Queen Emma.
Oh, please, Alex.
Don't you see how your life runs parallel? She was also married to a Fred Swalling, except his name was Ethelred. Ethelred the Un...
Oh, that's nonsense.
Why?
Well, how can it be anything else?
His world fell apart, but not hers. She knew what to do. She prepared for the future. And so when her husband died, providentially, they say she may have had a hand in it.
Why are we talking about this?
Is it painful? People don't die.
Oh, now I know you're crazy.
The outer shell, the hull, the husk, that wears out. But what's inside can never be destroyed.
Please take me
The
home.
genius of a Da Vinci, a Beethoven, the evil of a De Medici, what happens to it? It goes on living. It finds itself another shell, another husk, another covering, another temporary shelter.
You can't prove that.
Do I have to? Doesn't it make sense? You could have been Emma. Emma of Normandy.
I am not the kind of woman who leaves her husband.
Even if you're unhappy.
I'm more than just unhappy. I'm frustrated and I'm bitter and I... Oh, what's the difference? I made a vow.
So did Emma of Normandy.
If I hear one more word about Emma of Normandy, I'll walk out of this place.
Oh, I'm asking you.
Just look around you. Look at all these really attractive girls. Some of them are half my age. Look at how they're looking at you so boldly and invitingly. Why do you want me?
Oh, I know your problem. You're afraid this is just a lark for me. And when it's over, I'll walk out on you.
Well, won't you?
No, I couldn't. Because after Fred is gone, I'll need you more than ever.
Why do you keep saying after he's gone?
Because he has to go.
I demand the surrender of the castle and the abdication of the throne.
Well, give him your answer. Hurl down heavy boulders. Pour boiling pitch from the battlement.
Emma, be silent.
I will not be silent while this bloodthirsty Viking pirate...
Emma...
That's what he is. That's all he is. He will not take away my kingdom.
You forget. I am the king.
Then act like a king.
What am I to do?
You mount your horse. Lead your troops through the gate in counterattack. Be the king. Attack.
Yes.
What?
I shall have to consult with my counselor.
And meanwhile, we shall lose the kingdom.
No. We shall consult and discuss and hold a parley.
What is your answer, Saxon king?
Let your sword answer him. Let your sword find his heart's blood.
Emma, I must listen to my counselor.
Your counselors, ignorant, half-witted, traitorous.
Now, Emma, really, you have said too much.
What is your answer? We shall storm the gate?
We answer death. But, my dear Emma, one simply does not make a sharp 180-degree turn and just change the direction of one's life.
Well, one does, if one's life depends on it.
Emma, my dear, I think you've put some salt into the soup.
Oh, Fred, we have to break out of here. This house...
But this house is our home. It's our castle.
Don't say castle.
But we simply cannot pick up and leave.
Why not?
Well, for one thing, I would have to consult with some people.
Consult? Why? Whose business is it but ours? And I want you to stop teaching.
Stop teaching? How could I do that?
It's very simple. Just resign. I'll type a letter for you.
Hey, well, what would I do to earn a living?
You could write.
About what?
About the things you know. Things no one else does.
Those are dangerous things.
Good. And the whole world will want to read them.
What I know, in the hands of an unscrupulous man could... he could own the world.
How?
He could simply say, obey me, or you will cease to exist.
Then why don't you say it?
Because I can't.
Why can't you?
Because I can't even explain it.
Try.
No, don't you see? A man isn't just what he knows. What he knows is a dynamic part of everything that combines to make his personality. This knowledge is only a part of me. There's the rest of me. And what I am prevents me from being ruthless.
Well, I can do it for you, Fred. Oh, Fred, aren't you sick of being nobody?
Well, I don't feel that I'm...
Well, you're a character at the college. Oh, sure, there's old Fred Sparling. Old? You're hardly 45. Harmless old Fred. Teaches our seminars. Way up in the clouds there. All that theoretical stuff. Has no practical application.
Now, Emma, you're beginning to secrete adrenaline.
I know that, Fred.
Too much.
What do you expect? You have to secrete enough for two. Yours never flows. Your heartbeat, your pulse, your respiration. Oh, damn it, Fred. Those are the vital signs of life. Don't you ever get mad.
No. Well, I see no point to anger.
Well, maybe this will make you mad. Your star pupil, Alex.
Ah, brilliant lad. He's more than my star pupil. He's my disciple.
So much the worse. Alex, his life depends on your generosity. Without you, his education would be finished.
Now, please, Emma, one doesn't flaunt charity.
Without you, he wouldn't have a place to sleep.
We are commanded by a higher power than ourselves to share what we have. It's our duty to share.
Is it?
Of course.
Everything?
Yes, Emma. We must share everything we have.
Even our wives?
What? What did you say?
I want to know if a man is required to share his wife.
Darling, what does this have to do with
everything?
Alex?
From the charitable goodness of your heart, you have given Alex a place to sleep, and from the moment he crossed your threshold, he has been trying to sleep with me. Now, Fred, what do you say to that?
There are an infinite number of replies a man can make when his wife says what we just heard Emma say. I'll kill him. Or he could say, I'll congratulate him. He could say, well, that's gratitude. Or he could say, you must admit my friend has excellent taste. Who knows? We all will when I return shortly with Act 3. While certain primitive tribes consider women as communal property, and the greatest honor you can show a man is to accept his wife, this custom is not true of our own society. Or at least, we don't think so. Therefore, when Emma suggested to Fred that Alex was attempting to create what the French, who always have a charming name for these things, call a ménage à trois, Fred's first reaction was,
Emma, my dear, I was aware of it.
You were? You knew?
But I'm a scientist. And what, after all, is science but observation? Observation and deduction.
And you can just sit there and eat your soup?
Why not? Delicious soup.
Alex is trying to get me to betray you.
That's a charming, old-fashioned term.
Oh, I can't believe we're having this conversation.
Why?
Because you're incredible.
Would you feel better if I commanded Alex to leave the house?
Well, you should do something.
No. You should do something.
Me?
You should either discourage him or what? Well, my dear, you lead him on.
That's a lie.
If you want him, does it matter where you have him? Here or somewhere else?
I want to do something about us. You keep telling me you can be the most powerful man in the world. Well, how can I be satisfied just to be a dowdy, do-nothing, stay-at-home drudge?
Emma, let me tell you that scientists labor in the darkness. Now and then, fate, providence, the higher power, gives us a sudden, searing flash of insight. For a brief, awful moment, the curtain is drawn and the brilliant light of knowledge is burned into the soul. Perhaps it was a joke. A joke. A celestial joke. To make that revelation to me. Perhaps it was known that I couldn't use it. He's saying you'll convince me. You know what a woman needs to make her beautiful? She has to be secure in the knowledge that a man loves her. I always knew that Fred loved me. He doesn't count. I said a man. I know what you're saying. And I know what you mean. And I believe you. You sure it isn't the wine talking? It's me talking. Emma Sparling, formerly Emma of Normandy. Ah, do you really believe you were Emma of Normandy? You were the one who convinced me of it originally. But does it matter if it's true or not? I feel like Emma of Normandy. Then you know what we have to do with Fred. Leave him. Break out of here. That's right. We can go anywhere in the world. Anywhere you say. Wonderful. Now could I ask a question? Money. What do we do for money? Like the pirates of old, we will demand tribute. Pay or be destroyed. Now how can that be arranged? Fred can do that for us. Fred? That's part of Fred that knows how to do it. Listen, Fred told you. I know what Fred told you. I know Fred's problem. His moral, his ethical, his personal problem. He refuses to use the knowledge that would give him one favor I seek, but I can't. How? How will you get it? Is it in a formula or something like that? Oh, no. No, it's nothing like that. It exists in his consciousness. I don't follow. It's his talent, Emma. His personality. I mean, to take those from him. I'm not hearing you right. Why? We can transplant a heart from one body to another, a kidney, other organs. Why not? A talent transplant. Talent is what? It's a quality. People have it. It exists. It can be removed. How do you know? Fred told me. Fred showed me. He showed you? Yes, in the lab. On animals. Oh, I don't believe it. Listen. We have made vicious dogs out of calm dogs, smart dogs out of stupid dogs, and the other way around. But that's unbelievable. The mentality, the personality. He knows how to isolate those forces and transplant them. How? By surgery? How could you ever perform an operation? It's psychic surgery. I don't believe it. What will happen to Fred after you... He'll be... But that's murder. That's freedom. Freedom for you and me. He's a fool. He has unbelievable powers. This psychic surgery is the least of them. He could rule the world. He has scruples. I have no scruples. Now, what do you say? I say... When? More coffee, darling? Oh, yes, I think so. I don't understand why I should feel so drowsy. Maybe it'll wake me up. Here you are, Fred. I have some papers I really should go over this evening. Alex, Yes, Professor? We really should check the results of those experiments.
If you're feeling up to it.
Oh, yeah. I'll be perfectly all right as soon as I finish this coffee and,
He's out. Yes, but a bit too deeply. You put too much of that.
What should we do?
It's all right. He'll come around. We only need him to be semi-conscious.
How are you going to...
Hand me those needles. No. One at a time. All right. Now, cut away his sleeve. Yeah. All right, careful. Good. Now, swab his arm with the alcohol. And let me just plunge home the... There.
Alex, I'm frightened.
Oh, please, it's too late now. Hand me the needle on the other end of that wire.
Is it like a blood transfusion?
No. How can it be a blood transfusion? It's not a tube, it's a wire. Here, swab my arm with alcohol. Yes. And hand me the needle.
Be careful.
I know how to do this.
And you told me that Fred will be afterwards. Won't the police...
Don't worry, the doctor will see only natural causes. Heart failure, shock, no way to prove murder. Now, get that little box that I hid on the shelf. Quickly.
Emma. He's coming too.
Don't worry about it. When this is over, I'll be unconscious. You remember what you have to do?
Emma. He's waking up.
No. He's just coming around to where I want him. What do you have to do afterward?
I have to remove the needles and take the box, everything we used, and hide them in the attic.
Yes.
Then I call the doctor because both of you will be unconscious.
You will tell the doctor that we collapsed.
Yes, that's right.
And that's all you'll do until I become conscious again.
Yes. Now, how long will that take?
A day, 2 days.
Alex. Oh. Alex. What are you doing?
I think you know, Fred.
No, don't. No, Alex.
Turn up the volume, Emma.
What?
The middle knob on the box. The middle knob, that one.
Yes.
Turn it up.
Emma, don't.
Turn it.
It won't do you any good, Alex. Don't kill me. Emma. Alex, maybe...
Too late.
You have done it for nothing. For nothing.
Higher, Emma. Higher.
Alex, I'm frightened. Oh, for nothing. You're killing me for nothing.
It's working. Already I feel something. I see something. I know something.
Oh, good Lord. What I see. What I know. Nothing. It's for nothing.
You knew this. And you didn't use it. I'll rule the world.
No.
Alex.
Is he dead?
Emma, we own the world. I can make matter disintegrate before your eyes. I can make it happen just by thinking. No one can stop me. We will rule, Emma, the way we once did. But this time, forever.
Alex, darling.
What?
You're coming out of it. Alex, speak to me.
Oh, Emma. Emma.
Your voice. It's so different. It's so familiar.
Well, is everything, all right?
Oh, yes, darling, yes. The doctor came after you fell unconscious.
Yes?
Yes, and I did everything you told me. I hid the apparatus, and I said that you two had just collapsed at the table. And the doctor and the police had a fine time with all that.
Emma.
But it's over now. And no one suspects. We did it, my darling, we did it. And now, let's live.
Emma.
Here, I brought you a cup of coffee.
Oh.
Come on, drink it, you'll feel better. And then I'll prepare you some dinner.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. Oh.
What is it?
Oh, sugar. You put sugar in this. You know I can't tolerate sugar.
Alex.
I mean, how many years have you cooked for me, dear? No sugar, no spices. I have a very delicate metabolism.
Alex, what are you saying? Oh, I must get up. I must get to the laboratory.
No, we're leaving. We're going to be rich.
What are you saying, my dear? Whatever gave you such...
You're not Alex.
Well, of course I'm Alex.
But you're talking like Fred.
Well, I must talk like Fred, and then think like Fred, and act like Fred.
But you said if you transplanted his talent...
Well, yes, I have his talent, but I also have his personality. You see, I am Fred.
Oh, no.
We'll be happy here, and I'm very happy with our work, our home. What more could we ask, Emma?
Call yourself a king. A king.
What are you saying?
You are a fool and a coward.
Emma.
I never want to see you again. I'm going to him. Let go of me.
No, Emma, no. I must take you to a doctor.
I want the pirate. The Viking pirate. We could rule the world.
Yes, dear, I understand. Now, I'll take you to the doctor and you'll feel better.
Help me find my Viking pirate.
Yes, dear. Of course I'll help you.
She started out 1,000 years ago as Emma of Normandy. That was the first time she married Ethelred the Unready, and left him for the Viking Canute. And she's been leaving him ever since. But this time, for the first time, she has both of them in the same body. Where can she go from here? We'll have to wait a couple of 100 years to find out. You only have to wait a few moments, however, for me to return with more. A poet says, inside us all faintly echo the softest notes of a forgotten melody. Where did we once hear it? And when did we sing it? Sometimes in the absolute loneliness of the darkest night, there is a whisper. Is it a vagrant breeze? Or someone calling out, reaching out from the bottomless well of the past and saying, remember me? Once I was you. But perhaps things are best left the way they are. Perhaps there are things best not remembered. Our cast included Mercedes McCambridge, William Redfield, and Robert Dryden. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. And now, a preview of our next tale.
I'm sorry, son, I didn't understand. Those were the 6 words.
Sorry for what?
For remembering me. I wouldn't expect us to forget immediately, of course. That would be unreasonable. But as soon as possible, put me out of her mind. My life on earth was over.
I'm sure she meant well, your mother.
Now, if you're here a while, you...